Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ember Esports League. We got Gareth and Banana Bread here, and just before we get into the actual game, we are going to be seeing Tilt Albino going head-to-head against the For Hire Gaming Cobras. They have a little bit of an interesting story with their name, but I want to keep you watching, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. I do believe we are going to be heading off with a 1v1 kind of style before we get into the actual game. So, covering the analysis is probably going to be myself, and then covering the amazing play-by-play is going to be Mr. Banana Bread. And without further ado, let's kick this baby off.
Oh yeah, dude. Like it's gonna be they both hut and shook. What's it called? A Cho'Gath 1v1. So always love or Zed 1v1.
Yeah.
Holy cow! So it's always good to see.
Ooh.
Already they're just going to go fist fight right at it. They're saying, you know
Oh
what,
my.
we don't need to see it. Ignite's popping down.
Oh.
There's gonna be an auto
Oh
off.
my
That's a flash
goodness.
away from the
Oh.
kill. And it's going to be insane picking up the first blood here. So looks like 4 higher gaming Cobras are going to pick up that side selection here. Always love to see that getting quick, straight to the point.
That was probably the fastest 1v1 I've seen in this tournament. I remember last time I was casting, we saw a Garen versus a Cassante, and the Cassante built a chain vest cloth armor, and the Garen built like I don't even remember what, but dude, it lasted for literally like 4 minutes. So to cast over that and then cast over this one, which was like what 30 seconds or less, was a little jarring. But you know what? Granted, I think the For Hire Gaming Cobras, they're warmed up, they're ready to go, and I'm hoping that I'm hoping that we see an interesting draft because I know there's a lot of mirror picks on the enemy on the sides.
Yeah, that's what I like about like casting games around this elo bracket is kind of like you get a nice little mix of the mechanics, plus you also get like those really weird outlandish picks that you don't really expect to see. Obviously you'll have like those basic meta picks like the Xin
Mhm.
Zhao, the Jarvans, the Ezreal, stuff like that, but then you might get some more outlandish things in the
Oh yeah,
bag.
oh yeah.
So this is going
Have
to
you
be
ever
really
seen
interesting to see. I always like to see stuff like that in these games.
Have you ever seen a Fizz jungle?
I think I've seen it once, but
Really? Okay, how was
ironically, it
it?
was in like a, I think it was in the Masters League, or no, I saw it in like Pro Play
Really?
like once. They're like,
Interesting.
yeah, it's like Game 5 Fearless.
Huh.
That's what I like about like this format, like best of one,
Mhm.
single round robin, best of threes. Like you keep that Fearless all the way through, which is what I really like.
Mhm.
So I think it's one of the best things that Riot has came out with in the past couple
Absolutely.
seasons. So
100%. Yeah, and as far as the Fizz jungle goes, I've heard that it has a ridiculous clear, like a 2 minute, 35-second clear. Personally, I don't believe it, but I was talking to one of the junglers of a couple other teams last week, I think, and they were just glazing the fish. Yeah, well, yeah, the fish. Yeah, and again, personally, I've never seen it in my games, but I'm not the highest elo ever. I'm only platinum. But Banana Bread, I don't think I caught your elo before we
uh,
got on here.
I'm a Masters support man.
Ooh. Oh, dude, I'm also a support me. All right. Who are you playing recently?
Mostly play Thresh. I'm a Thresh player. I play mostly tanks.
Nice.
So it's like,
Nice.
you know, like tanks kind of do it all. I don't like
Yeah.
the range enchanter meta, but it is
Yeah.
what it do, Yuki. But like looking at both these teams, because I do recognize a couple names,
Oh, really?
but
Which ones?
Albino Sunbear, because I think I used to play with him a while ago.
Really?
It's like,
Oh, wait. So
yeah, I'm
is he
like,
also Masters?
no, I think he was like, he's always been like about mid diamond elo-ish.
Okay. Okay. Getting
So
close.
it's always nice to see some people that you used to associate with
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
keeping it up in the world.
Totally. If
So
you could say, was he any good in your games?
honestly, I don't really remember that well. I don't even
Okay.
remember what I eat for breakfast a lot of the time, so
Correct.
it do be like that.
Absolutely, man. Sometimes, like I just forgot there. But anyway, I do know that for the Cobras, they do have a bit of a newer roster. I was talking to the manager, well, the Zed actually, that just played in the 1v1. He says that the roster is about 2 weeks old. So, I wasn't able to talk to Tilt Albino, but based on what you're saying, I'm willing to wager that the Tilt Albino roster is probably a little bit older and probably a little bit more comfortable than the Cobra roster.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing with playing in like competitive fives is that you have to have kind of like that synergy. Playing 2 weeks, it's not really a lot of time to get to know your teammates. The little things that really
Mhm.
matter. Like rotations, play style, stuff like that. You can say whatever you
Yeah.
want, but unless you actually get into game and kind of know it by heart, then it's really hard to say. Both these teams, I mean, they don't have a single. So a Tilted have one game win. Both do not have a match win. So
Ooh,
Tilt coming
okay.
in with a little bit of a slight advantage. Like if they win this, they do get the
Hmm.
head-to-head, which is going to be very nice for them heading into the playoffs because I think the playoffs is seeded as top 8 make it through,
Ooh.
double elim. So
Hmm.
this is going to be a
Hmm.
nice little push here for Tilt if they do make it in. But like on paper, looking at both these rosters, they're fairly similar. I mean, it's going to
Yeah.
be very interesting to see how these games play out here for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I will just kind of parrot that because across a lot of the players here, especially the mid laners, they have like 4 or 5 shared picks that they play quite a bit of. Although there is one kind of what's it called, like just kind of like off the wall pick for the Cobras. The jungler is basically exclusively playing Karthus jungle. I know we were talking about Fizz jungle, but kind of keeping in the same vein of mages in the jungle. Have you seen the Karthus jungle a lot? Because I do actually like the Karthus jungle more than the Fizz.
I haven't seen Karth Jungle in a hot minute actually.
Really? Oh,
It's like
man.
it's like really because like the meta nowadays is it's very heavy into 80 bruisers in the jungle.
Yeah.
So you don't really see like a lot of those AP mages you've been talking about, like that Fizz, the Karthus, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Looking at both these junglers, like Frosty, Crown, and Noah.
Mm.
Yeah, Frosty definitely. This is definitely kind of his gig. He plays a lot of those
Oh,
80
yeah.
bruisers, but Noah plays more of like the meta style 80 bruisers, so like Xin Zhao, Vi, Nocturne,
Mhm.
Jarvan, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So both these junglers, they're gonna have a lot of picks taking away here, just straight up in the first 2 games. I
Yeah.
really don't want it to be a sweep. I expect this game to kind of
Right.
go a bit of the distance. Both these teams kind of
Mhm.
playing for their playoff lives. Even though it is at the beginning, it's nothing crazy.
Mhm.
It's kind of like both these teams really want to kind of just push that pace to make it into the playoffs. You really want to get that groove quick so you can kind of keep riding that momentum all the way down.
Yeah, totally. If I am gonna do a little bit of a prediction, obviously it's too early to tell because we haven't really gotten into draft yet. But Noah, like we were saying before, he does play a lot of Karthus in the jungle. I don't know what he plays aside from that. And Frosty, his most played jungler and the one that he dominates on the most is the Hecarim. And if I've got my math right, maybe you can check me as a master player. I do think that Hecarim walks over Karthus every day of the week. And if Karthus falls behind, he's basically a caster minion with a spell.
Yeah, pretty much. But Karthus is kind of like one of those champions. Is like you're kind of like that little bot, like that suicide bomber for your team. Is like you
Mhm.
literally go in, you die first, but then you're just pumping out the damage. I mean, yeah, no, it's a bit of an OTP. He plays a lot of that Karthus.
He does,
I
yeah.
really don't suspect he's gonna get it, but he has a
Right,
lot more
right.
picks in the bag. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, Karthus and Hecarim, they're both kind of pretty heavy on the farming side. So we'll see
Mm.
how that goes. But really, looking at these matchups, I really think this jungle match is going to be very interesting because Noah kind of plays a bit of a different play style compared to Frosty. Frosty kind of plays more of like this, let's mosh it out with these 80
Yeah.
bruisers, and then Noah's more of like, let me just farm
Mhm.
up a ton and just kind of scale up with the rest of my team here because
Totally.
um I haven't seen these two play at all. So
Right.
it's really like not too sure how this is gonna go, but like I don't really give a clear advantage to either team because like they're both roughly the same elo bracket on paper. They're roughly
Mm.
the same.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But as we take a look at these bands here, unfortunately, a couple one tricks are taken away. Obviously, that Karthus, like we were just talking about, that is Noah's bread and butter. Seraphine as well. Squit does play a lot of Seraphine, but he does also have quite a bit of Rel games and Braum games under his belt. And then just taking a look at the four higher Cobras, obviously, Respect ban on the Hecarim. Trundle ban is a little interesting. I haven't really seen Frosty play too much of that, but they are going to be picking up the Zinzao first. How do you feel about that one?
Who like we were talking about, man, like the
Hmm.
those meta junglers, so this is for hire. So yeah, so Noah,
Hmm.
that's his second most played champion, his second highest mastery. So this
Okay.
is a champion he's gonna be very comfortable with. So like with how I don't really expect to see him pick a Jarvan or what's it called? It's not what's it? The Hecarim anytime soon because you really don't want to kind of give that that powerful of a. You want to like pick something to kind of help skirmish early game with.
Oh,
So I really don't expect to see that Hecarim pick coming out
mm,
here as comfortable as he is on it. It's gonna be the Zehen Senna. So
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Senna's
hey,
kind of weird. It's in a weird spot, man.
I mean, I do agree, but Frenzy plays a ridiculous amount of Senna, so I think he's very comfortable on it. And we were talking about those bruisery AD junglers. I do think that Zahan fits the bill very, very well. Ash could be picked up as well, which for actually wait, you know what? Actually no, his name is invisible. We'll get to that later. I don't think the ADC, like obviously we were talking about it before. He does play everything aside from Draven, but Ash doesn't really hurt the most early game, unless that's my low elo brain talking.
I mean, if they lock in Seraphine here, it's really good. It's like a top tier.
I don't think they can.
It's a top tier duo bot lane. Like it's very few
Absolutely.
counters to it, especially since you are playing against the Senna. Because the biggest counter to
Mhm.
Ashe Seraphine is Nautilus, which
Yeah.
let's see, what's his name? Yeah, Relics. I'm just gonna call
Relics,
him
yeah,
Relics.
we'll call it
He
Relics.
does play that. So Nautilus is open.
It
So
is.
they can take that Nautilus here to pair with that Senna.
Mhm.
It's like in lane, you're not really doing too much, honestly. But I'm really surprised that For Hire decided to drop their support pick here when they have
Right?
that Ash on the table.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say the exact same thing because Squirt plays a lot of Braum. He plays a lot of Rel Braum, and I would think that if you want a strong bot lane duo, obviously Seraphine's taken off the table. You want to give this Ashe a good lane, otherwise the Senna's just gonna free scale. And I feel like a Braum is, I mean, it is melee, so you're kind of feeding the stacks. But at the same time, if you go in onto the Senna, she has nothing when she's stunned up and can't hit the Ashe.
and so they're gonna lock the Mbessa against the Scion. So Mbessa is
Yeah.
like a pseudo counter to Scion. I think
Hmm.
it's a placebo. Like I low-key
Really?
think that
Ooh,
Mbessa into Scion is like a placebo pick because like there's like a
really?
certain point where Scion just becomes like Thanos and then like you literally can't do anything about it. Like it's
Really?
yeah, because like Scion just
Interesting.
infinitely scales. He's like one of the few champions that infinitely scales.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just such a bad time to play against a champion like that. So
Hmm.
we're gonna see how this plays out here. So it's gonna be that Braum ban. So
Yeah.
it's possibly pivoting towards that Nautilus pick, like we said, and then immediately when we
Mhm.
say that, it's gonna get banned away. So all our
Mhm.
predictions are kind of just going out the window here. But
That's all
again,
good.
like
We got
I'm still really surprised that they opted to drop their ADC pick in favor for the Scion. So obviously, they ban away that
Mhm.
Trundle here, so it really opens up the avenue for pretty much any tank. It's gonna be that Melia ban. So
Mhm.
this is going to be very interesting to see here because honestly, I really don't know what they're gonna pick. I suspect it'll be like a 4 pick support here. Um, Honestly, I
Oh,
really don't know what he should pick. I honestly, at this point, like if you don't know, just pick some comfort. He does have that
mm.
Karma, Leona, Nami, stuff like that locked in. So yeah, like I said, it's gonna
Oh,
be that Leona pick. So very
Leona.
heavy comfort here, kind of playing two with the rest of the team. Because you gotta get like a lot of dive with the Zehen and Bessa, and then you kind of got a
Mhm.
Leona layered on top, plus Senna just constantly healing everybody. So really like to see that.
Oh,
It's gonna be a Lulu.
interesting. I don't know if
I don't know
Squirt
how I
plays
feel about
Lulu.
that.
You know what? I'm not the biggest fan of the Lulu either, but as kind of a saving grace, I guess you could speed away from the Zahen. I guess you can knock up if Ambessa uses public execution on the Ash. I think there is some counterplay. And you know what? Enchanters, and especially Lulu, she's very good at disengage. Leona's hard engage. Maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, but from your experiences, how does the Leona Lulu matchup go usually?
I mean, it's kind of like offset because the AC matchup. Like Ashe is so much stronger than Senna early, so
Okay.
double range bot lane. They're kind of looking to punish the Senna. So like, I really like that for tilt that they're kind of running more of a. We're gonna scale up. We're gonna team fight later on. They're not really looking to dominate their lane. So they lock in a Syndra mid. I haven't seen Syndra in mid in a while. She just got buffed this past patch. Let me
Oh, did
peep
she
the notes
really?
here. Let's see, because yeah, they did buff her recently. So let's see if I can find it
Gotcha.
somewhere.
Well,
It's
while you're
oh,
taking
it's
a
on
look at
this one,
that,
but
all right, well, Sunbear looks to be taking the Zed, wanting to run it back. He's actually going to swap it out for the Victor. I do think that is kind of a chill pick, honestly. Mid lane's just going to be kind of a farming fest. Obviously Syndra wants to hit that level 6 power spike, wants to get those items online. And same with Victor. He's perfectly chill just farming. That's that's literally his champion, and then he gets those nice evolutions. But with the top lane, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of action. But honestly, even though I said that Ashe wasn't like the craziest champion level 1, you're saying she's not too bad. And I was told by Insane, their Cobra's mid laner, that Ellie, the Ashe, is the star player.
I'm not gonna try to say that name. What'd you say their name was?
Just call him Ellie, trust me.
Ellie?
Ellie.
Okay.
It's a lot easier, man. Don't you
Yeah,
know
so
what?
like
I was
for hire, I mean, I like their comp. Their comp is
Mhm.
overall just very standard. There's nothing too crazy about it. Same thing with Tilt Albino. They're running a very basic, just we're gonna not int. We're just gonna
Yeah.
scale. We're gonna play for these crucial team fights around neutral objectives. That's pretty much all they're doing.
Mhm.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
like yeah, this Leona's gonna suck early. It's a it's like a blind pick, but
Mhm.
you're just gonna play to scale. You should be able to sustain pretty good with you take second win. You have a Senna. You're gonna scale
Yeah.
perfectly fine, and then eventually, I suspect the Leona should go first item Mikhail's. You definitely want to go first item Mikhail's.
Interesting.
Um,
Oh
it's like
yeah.
it's kind of like
Yeah.
nowadays because like Mikhail's
No, I
doesn't
see
build
it.
out of Kindle Gem anymore, so it's just straight
Right.
like
Right.
AP and mana regen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, a game like this, Tilt, Albino, they're literally just
Absolutely.
going straight. We're gonna farm. We're gonna
Yeah.
scale. We're gonna beat you up in team fights. The only
Mhm.
problem I have is that they lack a bit of damage. Like they're not gonna
You know what?
hit like hard at all until like 20 minutes.
I was gonna say that, but then I was thinking of Imperial Mandate on Leona, because obviously, like you're saying, it's kind of a similar situation with Mikhail's. It doesn't give a lot of health. It's mainly just for AP enchanters. But the fact that it does give your controlling effects, the 15 ability haste, if I've got that right, I feel like this game it's not that bad of a pickup, especially in the early game when you can get those like 6% damage debuff stacking. What do you think about the mandate on Leona?
It it depends because Leona is the
Mhm.
primary tank. Like she needs to be tanky. So like
That is
Merc
true, yeah.
treads, full tank, all that stuff. So like popular
Mhm.
thing that tank supports do is they'll rush. Um, it's that new item. It's the
Vandal pipes?
no, it's not that one. It's the Chemtech something.
I
I forgot
might
what it's
know what you're
called.
talking about. it's not going to be
I
on there,
have to
but I'm
like,
pretty sure I'm
it's like
taking a.
literally on the tip of my tongue. I have to like go through these items here real quick.
Did
But
you? Oh no, I
usually,
was
yeah, you'll just oh yeah, here it is. It's called protoplasm harness. I was like way off.
right, right,
So yeah,
right.
so you go to like
Yes.
protoplasm harness into
Hmm.
like you get like a locket into protoplasm, and that already makes you
Yeah.
really tanky
Hmm.
because
And,
you get the mixed resistances from locket plus
mhm,
protoplasm just gives you basically free stats. So
exactly.
Leona
And
needs to
then.
be the primary tank, and Senna kind of just builds whatever. Like usually the build you see is just static shiv plus cleaver.
Mhm.
So you kind of save up, and you also take what's it called? It's oh my god, this is literally eluding me right now. It's Deathfire Touch. You take Deathfire Touch on Senna
Ooh.
because the
Mhm.
ticks on Deathfire proc like the full passive for cleaver.
Wait, really?
So
Oh
it
right, yeah,
saves
yes,
you,
I did
yeah,
see
it
that. Yeah.
saves you your jungler and your top laner on getting a cleaver because Zehen and Bessa both just automatically get
Yeah.
armor pen from their ult.
Mhm.
So, you give them that extra damage item slot and you have them pump out the damage while you're kind of like a little bit more supporty in the back line. Because I really don't see
Mhm.
them being able to super punish the Senna super hard because they don't have good engage. Like, that's the only thing with 4 higher. They don't have a lot of engage. If Tilt Albino can just
Mhm.
power farm and scale up
Yeah.
until like they give like the first 2 drakes and you scale into that second about like that play for that second or third drake if you're in a really
Mhm.
good spot, then Till Albino they're in a great position to look for those
Oh
team
yeah.
fights and kind of run over the game because they overall they have a really good comp. They want front to back, they want
Mhm.
dive, they can kind of do a
Yeah.
little bit of anything. For hire, the only problem with them is that they uh, they can have a lot more agency, but later on, I just don't see Tilt trying to break through this Scion. So they kind of have to end it a little
Yeah.
quick, but they don't have a team to end it quick.
I can kind of see that, but kind of like we were talking about way, way before. Obviously, San is one of the few champions that infinitely scales. I do think that Senna has the same properties with that passive, and it's hard to say, but I do like the Senna late game a little bit more, mainly because she gets more bonuses like the crit chance, the crit amp as well, the lifesteal, the range, and I do think that it has a little bit more punch than the Scion, which just is able to get the health. And as far as the Leona goes, obviously probably one of the best protoplasm users in the world because of that W. She gets extra resistances, so as soon as she's dropping low, pops the W, and then she's back to full health again. But I do really like the Xin Zhao into Zehen because even though Zehen is a bit of a monster when it comes to fighting, I think Xin Zhao is just a little bit better early game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why Xin Zhao is an amazing jungler because
Mhm.
you scale really well with your ultimate, and you can fist fight really well early on. You know, you get a little bit of attack speed, you get a little AD under your belt, and you pretty much out sustain and outduel anybody in the jungler except maybe somebody like Lee Sin.
Yeah, yeah.
So like with both these teams, I had to give a slight advantage to for hire. They just have a little bit better early game and facilitating because you can literally just pull the
Right,
trigger
right.
anytime you want with the enchanted crystal arrow, and pretty much anybody that gets hit is gonna die, even if it is the Leona. You know, you're on a support salary, so you're not getting
Yeah.
super beefy like you would like as a Scion.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so, yeah, I think for hire have a very strong chance to take game one, but it just really depends on the agency that Noah is able to get with this Xin Zhao pick. You know, can they poke a bot lane down, look for those dives, or if they can look for plays on top lane because Mbessa, all Mbessa players, they love to fight.
Oh,
And
yeah. Oh,
then,
yeah.
Scion, they always forget Scion does a ton of base damage early on. So he's going to hit like a truck. You look for dives because I really
Mhm.
want to see a lot of side lane play from these teams. Mid lane, I don't expect anything to happen. Like that's just a snooze
Yeah.
fest.
Yeah.
It's literally just Syndra hits people. Oh man, I
Yeah.
got my splinters. Victor hits people or well kills minions, and he gets his little
Yeah.
hex cores,
His
as it used
upgrades.
to be called. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
it's
man, I missed the item.
yeah, I don't expect to see a lot of play around mid lane. I really don't expect him to kind of roam around and do anything crazy in the side lane play. It's really just again like this how these junglers are going to play for their side lanes.
I want to say that top lane is probably going to be a point of contention because even though we're saying that, like, yes, obviously Sion has a lot of base damage. He hits like a truck. I think that Ambessa is still able to just basically run over him until Sion is able to get, a couple items or at least a couple components. As to what those would be in this game, I'm not too sure. I want to say Thornmail, or sorry, Bramblevest. Probably going to be a first back because obviously Zahan heals a lot. And Bessa gets just some passive healing when she hits level 6. But as far as that, I don't know because obviously the Bramble Vest is not the tankiest item in the world. It doesn't give you a crazy amount of armor for the price, so I'm not too sure. I do think Ambessa is going to take it early though.
Yeah, usually that's it is what happens. Usually, so it
Mm.
depends. It really depends. It's kind of like and playing in best is always a bit of skill check,
Ah, I see. I
but
see.
we'll see how it goes honestly because
Totally.
I really want to see Zehen focus more towards that top side because you're not getting anything mid or bot. You know,
Hmm, hmm.
start what the red yeah the red side, so they clear blue side upwards.
Yeah.
Look for some plays like on the Scion while you can.
Yeah.
Try
Right.
to get Mbessa a little bit ahead or get yourself a little bit
Hmm.
ahead, and then they might look for those early contests on the first grubs or the first Drake.
Oh yeah.
And for hire, I mean, the only problem with their bot lane is that they can't initiate plays with Ash Lulu. Like, you have approach velocity, you get a little speed up with the Wisp, the Whimsy, but
Hmm.
otherwise you're not really doing too much. Like people forget
No,
that Senna in short trades combined with Leona passive does a lot of damage
it
actually.
does. Yeah. No,
Because
I don't disagree.
yeah, you get like
Um.
that burst for the current health damage from Senna
Mm.
passive, and then you get the sunlight passive from Leona, and
Yep.
then she does a ton of base damage. So
Yeah, surprisingly, she hurts for a tank support. She doesn't do that bad in levels like 1 to 3, which is her main power. So like, but we'll stop yapping about the comps and start yapping about this game as we start heading off into the first game in the best of 3 of Cobras for Hire going up against Tilt Albino. Like we were saying, you do like the comp from Cobras a little bit more. I do like the comp a little bit more from Tilt Albino. So I think we're going to be getting a pretty good mix of perspectives heading into this one. But yeah, uh, I don't, like you said, mid lane, nothing's gonna happen there. Bot lane is where I think we're gonna get a lot of the action, though.
Oh yeah, dude. It just really, I don't want to see Tilt do anything bot lane, but I mean, if they do, they do. You know, you find that opportunity, you get a
Mhm.
little bit of that poke off with the Deathfire touch. Then yeah, you could probably look for a little bit of couple plays there. But
Oh
you
yeah.
know, Senna going for that Deathfire touch and the cleanse. But
Mhm.
otherwise, that's the only. That's really the only thing that's a little different. You know, and Void opting for that grasp Mbessa, you know, looking for like those little short trades,
Mhm.
stack up that HP, heading in. Both these teams, they don't have a match win at all. You know, but it's only week 3, nothing crazy. So you
Yeah,
know
that's
you do
true.
have a bit of time to kind of push, and it looks like Ellie just pumping out some damage there. Frenzy kind of looking for that little short trade there,
Mhm.
but otherwise, I mean, it's kind of what you would expect in a game like this. You don't really see too much. The Senna actually did go for that Doran's helm, so looking
Yeah.
to kind of just be a little chunky there, kind of sustain up in the lane, but already Frenzy taking a ton of damage, you know, trying to greed for those stacks. So we will keep that stack counter up here, but already Albino Sunbear pushing Insane under the tower. There's a hen clearing from
Mhm.
bot to top, like we just talked about, and Xin doing vice versa, doing from top to bot. So kind of seeing points of pressure for both these teams, already knowing, figuring out what they want to try to do this game.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like we are seeing a bit of the opposite story when it comes to the mid lane, because obviously the albino Sunbear did go up against Inzane in that Z1v1, and I mean, granted, it was pretty darn close, but Inzane ended up going out on top. But in the mid lane, at least, it looks like Sunbear just is playing him like a fiddle. The lane's pushing into him, and he's just done so much damage with that QE. And down in the bot lane as well, that was one thing that I didn't really talk about with the Ashe, is that once Pix is on the Ashe and she's able to Q, that is so much extra damage coming from the Lulu onto basically whoever she wants to hit. And I mean, you could probably speak to this. I don't think Senna has a crazy health regen early game, so a lot of that is going to come from her potions and whatever tankiness she can get from Dorn's Helm. But otherwise, it looks like Ellie is going to be very much in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, the only thing with Senna is her base HP is like pretty bad. Zenblade just barely gonna whiff there. Does land that grasp, the
Mm.
W there on for the Senna. Xin just clearing his Krugs, looking for a bit of a fight. Insane already so low, a little under
Yeah.
200 HP, gonna hit with the Death Later.
Oh,
Flash forward with
whoa!
auto! Albino Sunbear once again picking up another solo kill in the first 4 minutes of the game.
All right, that was certainly not on the bingo card. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think we were gonna see a kill against the mid laners until they hit level 6. But I mean, hey, he proved us really, really wrong. But in the bot lane, though, even though the Senna and Leona are getting low, it's basically impossible to back against the Lulu. So I wonder how long they're gonna have to stay here, or if they're gonna have to call the Zahen to come down and try to, let them back in peace.
Yeah, I mean, Frenzy, he's keeping up in CS really well here. Like, despite the fact that they keep getting chunked, like, Senna is able to kind of sustain with that, the Q there. And having that Doran's Helm really helps a lot with that extra tankiness, like you said. So the wave is pushing into 4 higher here, so it is a little bit rough. But Zinzao is top side, Zehen is bot side, so they can kind of like let this lane go in there. Like Albino Sunbear, like you talked about, like he's doing really well in that mid lane.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they always forget like that when playing against a good Victor is so annoying,
Oh yeah.
as they're able to angle that the death laser
Yeah.
or the death ray to basically, you know, hit CS, poke somebody out, and then you can't really do too much about it.
What?
Like Insane he's just missing so many of these crucial stuns here. He's not able to get those
Ooh.
splinters here, and this Albino Sunbear is just constantly on the dome here with that death ray.
Mm.
So Insane just losing out a lot of these trades here. You know, went for that, just went for a second item,
I
Dark
mean,
Seal, and again, like Albino Sunbear is just so good with these side steps here. Like immediately, he got resets, gets a lost chapter. He's in such a great spot. Albino Sunbear, he doesn't have that flash, but does have that the Chaos Storm, so could look for another solo kill early mid lane here, as we see Relics roaming mid to help the Victor, knowing Syndra doesn't have flash. Top lane,
oh.
that's going to be the ult
Oh.
from the Mbessa here. I don't suspect it'll be a kill there. That's going to be a Q2 dashing away. Going to put Jonikis under the tower. So just ult for ult.
Oh my
As
goodness,
Storm is
really?
raging mid lane here. Relic's coming through, and it's gonna be another solo kill. Albino Sunbear is just putting Insane in the dirt right now, as For Hire do claim that first Drake of the game.
Honestly, it's not too bad though. Like, obviously, you know, congrats for the Cobras to actually take the Drake and have the mindfulness there. But the fact that Sion gets forced out of lane when that massive wave from the Mbessa is crashing under his tower, even though she didn't get a kill, I feel like that's still pretty worth just for the sole reason of denying Sion all that XP and gold. And in the mid lane, I'm so surprised that the Albino Sunbear has been able to dodge so much of Syndra's spells. You know, whenever I'm playing against the Syndra, the Scatter of the Weak has the hitbox of a house, and I always get hit, even if the ball's on the other side. So I don't know how this guy's doing it.
I mean, she's only at 30 splinters at about 6 minutes, so she's not really stacking it up that crazy, because you do need to hit 2 abilities on a champion to pick up a splinter. So unfortunately, you know, Insane is kind of in a bit of a hole now. He's down about 900 gold to his lane opponent. Oh man, Albino Sunbear, he's going for the Merc Tread's first item here.
Yeah.
It's a very nice item to have, especially against like these control mages, and it's such a detriment to them. And Frenzy, if he's only down like, what was that, 8 CS here?
Yeah.
Went for a tier, interestingly enough. So looking to kind of just look to sustain up in that bot lane a bit. But
I don't mind
very
that.
marginal leads across the board here. But Albino Sunbear kind of just firmly in the driver's seat for his team. I mean, he's already got his first upgrade. He has Lost Chapter starting to build tier 2 boots.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like a nice little lead for his team, and already picked up 2 plates in the, or a plate mid and a plate top. So Albino Sunbear just in a great spot. So kind of a focal point for this early game. Like we talked about, like we said nothing's gonna happen, but Albino Sunbear has proven us wrong. Already 2 solo kills in the first like 6 minutes.
It's honestly pretty surprising how far ahead this Victor is. You know, even though that's obviously the gold leads are marginal, 800 gold isn't that much. The fact that the Victor, you know, a champion that's not really known for his early game, the fact that he's already here and already has a plate, probably going to be getting a second in a couple waves here, is just going to put him so far ahead of that mid lane quest. And the second he finishes that quest, that's the second he gets those tier 3 boots, and I don't think that Insane will be able to kill him very much after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Victor, thing is about Victor is like, when it comes to like a team fight or something like that, Victor's kind of useless. But when it comes to like poke, Victor has elite poke. Like you have a slow, you have a stun, you have a shield, you have you pretty much outrange damn near everybody with the death ray if you angle it correctly. You know, you can poke somebody, you can, you know, push the lane very easily once you get that upgrade. So Victor is really good early. It's just he's kind of useless in a you know 2v2 or 3v3 fight. So
See,
Albino Sunbear, he's in a good spot.
I thought Victor was not the greatest early, and then was really good in team fights because of all the AoE.
Because like, yeah, because like he can, like in a nutshell, like 1v1, Victor's pretty good because like, you can't really out poke him because you know he gets a shield. Like you walk up to poke him, oh no, he gets a shield, and then he outranges you with the death ray. So Victor early game is like it's like you know like a control mage, kind of like Orianna. Like it's not like inherently good, but it's good enough in a nutshell. But like in like an actual like you know extended fight, it's really bad because Victor has really long cooldowns. That's like the only caveat.
Ah, I see. I see.
Tilt Albino, they're going to pick up the grubs here, so they do complete that cross map, so they're just not going to get swept in the neutral objective game there, as we witnessed Jonikis just clear out a massive wave there. Unfortunately getting pretty low on mana, so boy, just constantly pushing in these waves, you know, locking him out. Insane, like that was 1E. Insane hit a full combo, well like 2/3 of a combo, onto Albino Sunbear. It did no damage. Like he already has the Merc Treads completed there. Jonikis taking a ton of damage under tower. He has no mana, as mid lane Frosty Crown is just going to clear up some wards there, kind of covering up his mid lane. And it's kind of like, it's really, yeah, the focal point just really been mid lane here. We haven't seen the junglers do too much. Top lane hasn't really been going any sort of which way. So it's just a really slow game. It's kind of just the Albino Sunbear show right now. So again, like the side steps, it's so crispy. Once you get those tier 2 boots, like that movement speed, it's so underrated.
I mean, yeah, man. Definitely, a lot of people are not the biggest fans of movement speed, but you know, dashes are very very popular. But yeah, as we're saying, these junglers not doing a whole lot. I think that's exactly what Zahan wants, because like we were saying in the draft. Oh, hang on,
Ooh,
actually, that's a
Enchanted
crystal
Crystal
arrow.
Arrow heading in mid lane there, just gonna go a
Oh,
little bit wide, and Albino Sunbear, absolute balls of steel there, not using that flash as the arrow whizzes right past him, as now he's gonna drop the gravity field
oh my
there.
goodness, wait.
Lulu, as she will get put into the gravity storm,
Ooh,
gonna get pulled back by the Zahen. He's going
ooh.
on there with the Grim Deliverance, and that's gonna force a flash out both sums from Squid, and that's gonna be the second Drake of the game started up here by Tilt Albino.
And this time, the Cobras are not able to trade plays on the map, because last time when they got the first dragon, they were able to trade a play. Even though Tilt got some kills somewhere else, they were able to take the dragon for free. Now, Tilt is able to take the dragon completely for free, but Cobras can't find anything at the moment. There we go. It's down immediately.
Yeah, so they're not able to cross map, which is a little unfortunate. Looking at Senna's stack counter, does that say? Yeah, this says 21. So 21 stacks at about 11 and a half minutes is not that bad. It's pretty good, actually.
Really?
Albino Sunbear, I think he just got his second upgrade. He just ticked his second upgrade.
Ooh.
Syndra is at 50 splinters right now, so nothing crazy. Scions, you know, just doing Scion things. He's kind of
Yeah.
scaling up. Already first item built up by Void here. Tier 3 boots done for Albino Sunbear, so already completed that mid lane quest. So he's in a great spot. Like, he's
Yeah.
not dying anytime soon. Jin's out top lane. Gonna use that when becomes lightning. Not gonna quite hit onto Void. So, I mean, a game like this, it's a great spot for Tilt. Like, we talked about, you know, them having an early game team, but they're just really in a nice firm position as bot lane. They're going to try to jump onto Frenzy here, but going to pop that E from the Senna here. That's a lot of healing, and that's a lot of damage return.
Yeah.
So Frenzy, he's scaling up real nicely here. Like, you're alone bot lane, doesn't matter. You have Flash, you have Cleanse. It's impossible to pick him off. Like, it allows Relics to just kind of roam around wherever he wants there. As mid lane, it's going to be a bit of a gankaroni here. That's the Scatter of the Weak does not hit 2 there. That's going to be Dawning Shadow going up mid lane, getting up a shield. Frosty Crown going to pick up the first kill of the 2v2. And Insane is going to get pulled back, going to get killed. We bought the flash, and it gets taken out there. So it's going to be a double kill going over to Frosty Crown. And another proactive play goes bad for hire.
Yeah, the Cobras are not feeling very good about this one, especially because, like we were saying before, Zahan not the most powerful early game champion. The fact that he's been able to find a few kills around the map and already have that Triforce completed is absolutely colossal for him. And same with the Ambessa. Even though the Scion does have a lot of base damage, the fact that they can pop the Eclipse so quickly means that a lot of the trades for Scion, even though in theory he should be winning them, he just can't anymore. The damage means nothing because she has so many shields at her fingertips.
Yeah, like, it's just, that's why Eclipse is such a good item. You know, you get the chunk, you get the shield from the Eclipse, you get the shield from the W, and you can't really out trade. I mean, Scion is gonna predominantly go armor in a game like this. Went Sunfire, which is very interesting. You don't really see Sunfire being built first anymore that often. So it's kind of interesting to see there. It's a 3K gold lead for Tilt Albino. So they're in an excellent spot. Like, Senna is just going to keep on farming. She's at 28 stacks, so nothing crazy, but it's kind of offset by the rest of her team being so fed here. It's a 1.7k lead alone just for Albino Sunbear. He has 100% KP as the mid laner. As let's see, Grubs are going to spawn in about, or no, Herald's going to spawn in about 45 seconds here. Drake's spawning in about 2 minutes, so nice little chunk there onto Albino Sunbear. Going to pop that refillable, but I mean, he's chilling. Got the tier 2 boots. He has a Blackfire Torch built already. Like, he kind of just do whatever he wants there. Insane starting to land these Scatter the Weeks now, but at a point like this, it doesn't really matter. You're just getting out-traded so heavily.
Yeah, the Victor can kind of just do whatever he wants at this point because, you know, like we were saying a little bit earlier, once those tier 3 boots come on down and he gets a magic shield whenever he takes magic damage against a Syndra, I mean, it's just best of luck trying to kill him. And he does so much damage, right? He already has the first item, and Syndra was just barely able to get that Luden's Echo. So she does have a little bit of burst, but I don't think Victor is going to be that burstable, as he already takes the first tower of the game. To say this guy's ahead is just an understatement. 2.2k, that's like, what, half of Syndra's net worth so far?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the Victor is going to take about He's probably gonna take about half an item here once he resets. He's up at
Mhm.
35 gold and a whole tower full of plates for himself, plus 2 kills and 2 assists. Like, Albino Sunbear is just rolling around in the dough, basically the Scrooge McDuck of
Ah,
this game. 3.9k
right.
gold lead for Tilt Albino. Next Drake spawning in 40 seconds here. So this is a really nice little spot that Tilt Albino really can look to get here, because they really want to try to get this Ashe into the game. I mean, this bot lane really hasn't been doing too much, but so hard to engage onto
Right.
Senna that has cleanse and flash available, plus Relic just constantly being a meatbag in the front lane. Like Squint, he's trying to bait it, but you know,
Yeah.
you're just giving the Senna free stacks.
At this point, yeah, we are going to see the junglers kind of collide down bot lane. Leona able to find an engage. The Zenith Blade does manage to land. Crescent Guard going to be
Gonna
popped.
get polymorph, but Frenzy just instantly pops the Lulu. She does pop the ult on herself, but Xin Zhao has no choice but to go on in. That's going to be a double kill going over to Frenzy. And already 5.2k gold lead, third Drake of the game going over to Tilt Albino. They are in a very, very commanding spot right now. We were talking about, you know, them not inting with this composition, but it doesn't even matter. Like, they're so fed. It's gonna be another solo kill mid lane here, and Insane is just not having an insane time here.
Yeah, you know, unlike his name suggests, the Victor, I mean, he's pretty insane, but also kind of like a bear. You get too close to him, he will absolutely ball you to death, and which is that he's been doing just that, basically for everyone, you know, 100%, well, what is that, like 80+% KP? Anyway, regardless, he's been a part of a bunch of kills, and yeah, that bot lane play, low-key, I think that was the only hope for the Cobras at this point, because Tilt's comp is not going to get weaker as the game goes on. And with no contest around this Rift Herald, I really do think that this tier 2 mid tower is going to be falling pretty darn soon. I mean, they're probably going to use it for a dragon play because it is up in just a few minutes. But yeah, I just don't see a world where the Cobras win this one now.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, 5k, 5.5k isn't insurmountable, but it's like when you have no real good engage onto the fed carries of Tilt, it's really hard to see a way back, because like they just need like a good pick with that arrow. Like, they really need to hit it onto Sunbear and just dive on his dome, but nobody really has enough damage to try to kill that Victor here. He's starting to build into I don't know what it Hexite Alternator and a Fiendish Codex build. So
I think that's oh, what's the one where like you deal extra damage if you're far enough away from them?
oh, the Horizon Focus.
There we go. Yeah,
Oh, you with the Rocket Belt build.
Interesting.
He's doing the Chovy Rocket Belt strat. Okay.
Actually, I don't mind that here. I really
I
don't.
like that actually.
Exactly, yeah, because you could sidestep the Xin Zhao W, you could sidestep the Asher a lot faster. Maybe you could use it to dodge call of the or scout of the week, but that's a little bit niche. And he's been sidestepping them so well, he might not need it for that anyways.
Oh yeah, the Chovy Rocket Belt build is basically Chovy builds a rocket belt, because again, like I said, like mobility is so overpowered. Like movement speed, any little extra dash you can get is so strong. And Albino Sunbear, he's been skating all over Insane, and now you give this man a little extra dash and it's just gonna be a bad time for them, as Insane is just completely zoned off his own bot wave here, losing most of it to the tower, unfortunately. It's a 6.3k gold lead now. Victor pretty much damn near instantly clears the wave with a single E. So another sidestep once again there, gets a little shield. Let's see, next Drake spawning in about 2.5 minutes, Baron spawning in 40. And it's just, I'm not saying it's over, but it's a little roughy. And Frosty Crown gonna pull Noah in with the W. Frenzy looking to kind of get a pick off there. That's going to be 2 flashes away, as that's going to be a nice little ultimate into the backline by Void. He's going to have a buddy there, as Frosty Crowns does pull Lulu back in to go on a killing spree now. Noah has no choice but to go on in. Jonikis is getting surrounded by 4 members of Tilted Albino, as he's going to finally get taken down there. Nice little scatter of the week to help keep him out. And a big shutdown actually going to Insane there with the scatter of the week. So going to pick up 1 kill there. Going a little bit too deep for Tilted, but they still have a very firm gold lead. And that's a big scatter of the week, as Flash away from the Solar Flare, almost taking down Albino Sunbear with the Unleashed Power. But Albino Sunbear is able to flash on out there. So lots of summoners used there in that little team fight, but for naught, really. They do get a couple plates mid, Drake spawning in about a minute 30. So that's a lot of cooldowns that will not be available for this big team fight for the Drake.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'll copy that once more because so many of the carries for Cobras just pop flash in that one fight and they only got one kill out of it. Sure, they keep themselves alive, which does let them farm a little bit more on the map, get some more XP, which is nice. But I feel like so many more of Tilt's champions use that golden XP so much better. And the fact that again, you only got one kill out of that is, I mean, it's you know what I mean? Sorry, kind of a brain fart there. But the main thing I'm trying to say is that the Cobras, they had the better early game. They had a lot more fighting power, a little bit more poke, and a slight bit more damage in the early game. But now, you know, the Victor is just a perfect.
Oh, insane!
Yeah,
He's
it's cooked.
Yeah, he's dead. He gets that bot lane tier 1, but he's gonna get stunned up, taken out, and killed. Donated to Albino Sunbear, and yeah, Albino Sunbear already has his full completed upgrades here. Frenzy gonna get chunked to about 2/3 HP there. Instantly heals it up with the Dawning Shadow, or the Q, I meant. Void is getting pinched on both sides here by 3 members of Cobra, but he's able to just dash on out there. That's going to be Sion going in there with the Unstoppable Force. He's going to get a lot of knockups onto the Ambessa. She's going to get the public execution onto the Xin Zhao, going into the backline, trying to get onto Squint, but just dashing, dipping, diving as much as she can there. So many ultimates used onto Void already, but he's so fast. He's dashing as much as he can, but nice little kill going over to Ellie. Albino Sunbear going to get, once again, another full tower bot lane there until they're going to go up to Soul Point now. Inferno Soul Point, no less. At about 22 minutes, and you get a kill, but you lose Soul Point, especially to this Senna Victor. That's something you really don't want to lose.
Right, as if the Victor needed more damage. Now he's going to get even more because at this point, you know, it's not up yet, but I do think that Tilt is going to be very happy fighting for this soul because, again, they have so much area damage. Obviously, the Ambessa can dip and dive around in that Dragon Pit. The Victor is basically built to fight around objectives, and same with the Senna to some degree, right? That route becomes a little bit more deadly. Everyone's clustered up for the Solar Eclipse. There's so many tools that Tilt have that they could just completely unload onto every one of the Cobras, and they don't have the tankiest champions in the world. Sion is is the only true tank. Sure, Xin Zhao does build some health, but the only sustain that he gets in fights is from that Sundered Sky when he autos people, but he can't auto a lot of this comp because Zehen wants to get close to him. He can knock you up, he can pull you back in, Ambessa can dash away. Victor, Senna, they love to keep their distance, and if you hit the Leona, who cares? It's a support.
Now it's gonna be tilted. Like, they have full prio in that river there. Nice little stun onto Albino Sunbear. Gonna get a little chunk of damage down. As Zane just getting heavily chunked. Like, this Victor already has that stopwatch in his pocket, so he's in a great spot. Like, it's so hard to kill the guy. Like, if you thought it was hard to kill him before, right? You know, he has a stopwatch. He has tier 3 Merc treads, like, plus the rocket belt. Like, he's so hard to kill, especially with that Leona just being a complete meat bag in the front line. As yeah, she's building that. I forgot what that item's called again. A protoplasm harness.
Protoplasm, there we go.
Yeah, so building that protoplasm harness here, Void is, yeah, he's just balling right now. Like, he has that spear Shojin. You know, the cooldowns are so nice, especially on a champion that is so dependent on her CDs plus ability damage. As the Wind Becomes Lightning does hit onto Albino Sunbear, gonna flash over the wall there, so forcing that flash 3 minutes before the Drake is going to be very crucial. So now Albino Sunbear gonna have to play on a knife's edge now once these team fights start rolling around here, but it's not insurmountable. I mean, Cobras, they're getting plays, but I don't know if they're getting enough here. Like, they're just kind of letting this game bleed away a bit here, you know? Like, they're not really making any plays happen as much as, you know, they need to.
Right, and the thing with the Victor is, like, yes, obviously it doesn't have flash. That is phenomenal for the Cobras. The only issue is they don't really have any engage. Obviously Xin Zhao and Sion, they could be great engage, but you have to get through the Leona and to some extent the Zehen, because obviously Zehen is not built for peel, but the second he gets his passive, which he only gets by hitting people, you don't really want to be dilly-dallying trying to run past him because he's going to be able to get a few more stacks, and like, if you give him the revive in these fights, I don't know if the Cobras have enough damage to kill him once, let alone a second time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Like, you want to kill this Victor, but you have to run past a Bessa, a Fetzahen, and a Leona. Like, that's not really something you can really run past. Like, there's not really anybody that can, go in with the Zins out or can follow up on the Enchanted Crystal Arrow fast enough to chunk out and kill this Victor. So, I mean, it's a 7.5k gold lead, soul point. Drake spawning in about a minute 20. Baron is up, and they don't really have vision on it. So, if they were inclined, they could honestly sneak a Baron, It's like, at a game like this, it's like, where you're like pretty down. It's like, you gotta go for like that YOLO play,
Right.
So right now, final resets coming through here to play for this soul. It's an Infernal Soul. You really don't want to give this over to the Victor. Senna is in a great spot. 3 full items. Man Immune plus Cleaver. I mean, 2 full items for the jungler and the top laner. Almost 2.5. Almost. Wait. Oh, he's going for a Rabadon's here. He's not even finishing the Zonias. So
That is
Albino,
so based.
he is so... That's a chunky boy.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a lot of damage. And honestly, I do respect the buy cycle because, I mean, he didn't even pop the arm guard. He still has that in the back pocket if he needs it. So I actually don't mind him going for Rabadons that much, but I do think we are due for a bit of a team fight as everyone's just trying to pile into this Dragon Pit, as it's got 15 seconds left.
Absolutely here. I mean, Tilted, they can really burn through this Drake as much as they want. They need to look for a pick with this Enchanted Crystal Arrow before they start the Drake, because if they start this Drake, they'll just burn through it right now. It's a bit of a split map here for the side of Gaming Cobras, as they do start up the Infernal Drake now, as they're going to pull it out there, as now Gaming Cobras are going to push up that mid lane a little bit. 6k on the Drake, and they're not even going to they're not playing for the soul, they're just going straight for the Baron, but now they're so indecisive, they don't know what they're doing. Frosty's Crown, he's just going to finish that soul here. And it's going to be the soul going over completely uncontested to the side of Tilted Albino. They're going to go straight on to the Victor, but he's going to pop that stopwatch. Dawning Shadow coming across the line as the Grim Deliverance is going to hit onto 2. And Bessa going crazy in the back line. 2 members already down for the side of Gaming Cobras. Flash forward by Frosty Crown. Not going to get the pull back onto the Ashe. Ashe is kiting and dashing. Noah going to pick up a kill there. Going forward there as the Unleashed Power picks up a kill onto the Senna. It's going to be a 3-for-1. Or 3-for-2 here, but it's going to be the soul for Tilted Albino.
I mean, hey, I certainly thought that the Cobras did not have it in them, but look at the kiting power from the Ashe. If they're able to keep the Zehen just unstacked, I mean, I guess Cobras do have enough damage to kill him once, and probably enough damage to kill him twice, because even if the Zehen was able to revive there, they don't really get anything, because the Ashe is still alive. The Lulu, she doesn't have ulti, but she has so many tools to keep the Zehen at bay and keep the Ashe just free hitting. And again, that picks damage plus the lethal tempo, it adds up so much.
Yeah, dude, like, that was a really good team fight by Ellie, dude. Like, I mean, you dropped the gold lead to about 6k. I mean, you lost the soul, so it's a little rough.
Right.
It's a little bit of a roughie, especially on a Senna Victor. So it's going to be a little bit of a not fun time. Like, they had the right idea, they look for Albino Sunbear, but he did such a great job to play the bait there with the Zonias and just, immediately pop it, and he's just able to get out because the rest of the team is there to follow up and peel for him. So now, we're gonna see, like, Gaming Cobras, they have to kind of convert this into something they can get, because now Ashe, she has 3 items. She hits like a truck. It's very hard to kill her, but the Embessa just got a Serpent's Fang, so that's gonna nullify so much power that this Lulu is pushing out, and the Scion also. So it's gonna be a bit of a hard time there. The Scion, I mean, he has 0 MR, so he's going to get completely shredded by this Victor. Victor's so close to that death cap here. I suspect he should get it within the next couple waves here. That's a 3-item Victor with a full Zonias and about to get a Rab. And 0 MR on the side of 4 higher. So Victor kind of just free farming in that bot lane here, pushing towards that tier 2. Finally, Inzane is going to pop that reset. But, it's kind of like now both teams are kind of just back to farming up a little bit here, as Albino Sunbear and Frosty's Crown, they're about to Flame Horizon their team. Enchanted Crystal Arrow does lay in bot lane. Nobody is near to play for that pick.
That style
so Albino Sunbear is able to just walk on out there. That you're forgetting, that's a Merc Treads Victor. You're not going to keep them stunned that long. So no real cross map play for the side of Cobras.
I mean, it's not the greatest, but you know what? The fact that he did hit the arrow is pretty good here. I mean, Mbessa going up in the top lane. I don't think there's a way out.
Oh, she didn't flash over the wall. She's dead. She's dead. As the public execution does go through,
Actually,
but it will
wait.
be her execution instead. So Ellie gonna get the first pick in the side lane here. So Void down to flash, down an ult. Let's see if Cobras can do anything with this numbers advantage.
But Tilt committed 2 ultis for that, and I mean, dare I say, I don't know if the Sun ulti was needed. I don't think the Mbessa was able to get away. So the fact that they now have 2 ultis down is pretty darn huge. And I did want to call attention to this mortal reminder from the Ashe, because 3 of the 5 champions of Tilt, they heal quite a bit. Obviously, Senna has the healing, you know, just from her Q. The Mbessa has that built-in lifesteal, and same with Zehen. He literally lifesteals. That's his entire kit. So if the Ashe, which, you know, has pretty solid area damage, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked up a Runon's Hurricane here just to hit many more people and just spread that Grievous Wounds to everyone they hit. I think that this Ashe is really going to be a bigger problem than maybe Tilts realize.
I mean, the Ashe just built an IE. Like, she is actually Thanos. So, honestly, a game like this, if you want anybody, if you want to put the eggs in any basket, it's going to be the Ashe basket. She doesn't have Flash, but she has a Lulu in her back pocket, plus 4 items. Like, this Ashe is actually very strong. Senna's at about 88 stacks right now, so she's in a pretty good spot also. So it's really, this game is just full on this Ashe. Like you said, like this is the big focal point for gaming Cobras. So Ashe, she's gonna start ball. Wow, that was half her HP gone.
I mean,
The wrap finished here.
Oh
Gonna
my
go
goodness.
forward there with the Hextech Rocket Belt and picking up another solo kill in the side lanes there. Holy cow, that was a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And Zane having 0 defensive items, going for the death cap also, surprisingly.
Based.
Still has that Dark Seal also. 4K gold lead for the victor.
I mean, you know, when you're behind, you don't really want to build tanky. You want to build as much damage as possible. So maybe that's his ethos. But the victor still has those merc treads. So I don't know if a crystal arrow play is in the cards, but they are a little bit closer now. So maybe they could have capitalized.
Yeah, honestly, like if you went for the enchanted crystal arrow and you dodged the first death laser, the death ray, honestly, I think she definitely could have killed. Like that, the Ashe does so much damage.
Yeah. And I mean, he
Like-
doesn't have ult anymore either because he used it on the Syndra.
Yeah, and doesn't have the rocket belt either. Oh yeah, the victor. He's going for Leandri's now. Looks like Jonicus is building Force of Nature, I'd assume. Either a Force of Nature or a Canic Rookern. I think it's a Rookern, if I remember.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Just because there's so much burst damage from the Victor, and like you're saying, Victor's cooldowns aren't the shortest in the world, so I feel like the Rooker does make a lot of sense because even if the Victor is just poking you,
Oh
which
no,
is
he went
kinda...
for Jock Show.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah, I always forget about that because Canic Rookern is like, it's a really, like if you have to build like a singular like MR item, Canic Rookern is definitely the best. It's going to be an Elder Flip for this game. This is not the game I expected to be an Elder Flip, as Void gonna teleport into that mid lane there. Jonicus gonna be that meatbag in the front line, clearing up the vision. Syndra is kind of separate from her team here, does have a bit of a flankeroni, as Noah getting chunked, so much damage, so much zone control with this Victor. Albino Sunbear pumping out the damage, 604, and with Rabadon's death cap, as that's a 3 minutes out of the week. The side's gonna go straight on in there as the Sonic Shadow does go out. As Zinzao diving into 4 members as the public execution is only gonna hit onto the Zinzao here. Zinzao flashing away as that's gonna be Zehen getting that full stack, gonna get that GA popped up, and he will come on up there, flash away. The Scion is not tanky enough. He's gonna get taken down. Double kill going over to Frosty's Brown, as that's gonna be a nice little stun onto Ellie. Ashe, she's trying to cut as much as she can. The polymorph is doing so much, and Relic just gets the kill in the end. It's going to be a 3 for naught. Noah is still alive, could possibly look for the steal, but he's coming from base. There will be no chance for a steal. 8.1k gold lead, plus the Elder Drake for Tilted Albino.
Yeah, I mean, they played that fight beautifully, and even though we said that the Cobras have such a better front to back, I do think that the adaptation from Tilt there, getting the Guardian Angel, because last time the Zehen was in a team fight, you know, like we were saying before, he wasn't able to get his passive off, which made him obviously die and give the Ashe a great bunch of gold. So the adaptation to buy the Guardian Angel there really is, I mean, a beautiful adaptation, because now it gives Zehen an extra life on top of a potential extra life that he could have later on. So it just makes him so much harder to kill. And, you know, as we saw there, it was just Elder into Baron into a colossal gold lead that's probably going to be coming soon.
Yeah, that was probably like the best case scenario for Cobras. Because, like Insane, he gets that big three-man scatter of the week onto crucial members of the backline from Tilted, but, again, like, they don't have any follow-up. Like, Ash can't just walk past the Mbessa and the Zehen, and so you don't really have that follow-up damage. Only Sion and Xin Zhao there trying to do as much as they can, but in the end they get whittled down, and then everybody else just gets chased down. So now they have the Baron, they have the Elder Drake, so they're gonna really push up on with this tempo. 10.3k
Yeah.
gold lead for the side of Tilted Albino. It's 36 minutes now, so it's a bit of a lady. As a Hex Tech Optics built for the Senna, so she's doing so much damage now. She's gonna start hitting like a truck. So now it's gonna be a two-man front here. Albino is in the bot lane by himself. Does get another tick. That's so much, dude. Like, he's doing so well, just playing on the edge, and then Frenzy constantly healing up his whole team there. It's just, it's kind of like starting to be looking like to be the beginning of the end here. 40 more seconds on the Elder Drake here, so let's see if they can force something if they want. But finally, the bot lane inhibitor or tower does get taken down here. Frenzy using that range to his advantage. Enchanted Crystal Arrow, that's going to be an instant cleanse from Frenzy as Void dashing forward there to kind of create some space as mid and bot lane inhibitors are going to get whittled down here. Finally, the base is broken at 36.5 minutes as they're going to bot lane inhibitor will get taken out here. Void taking a little bit of chunk from the volley, but it won't be enough. Whoa, that's actually a lot of damage. And the death, wow, that's half his HP completely gone there.
Yeah.
Does still have the flash, does still have the Chaos Storm, as slowly this base is just getting chipped down here from the multitude of Baron-empowered cannon minions just blasting onto the inhibitor towers. They're finally going to get taken down at 37 minutes here. There's going to be one last chance for them to fight. Noah going to go on in there. The Sign does go in with the Unstoppable Force. It will not amount to much as the stun goes down onto the Ash. He's going to try to count as much as he can. Does finally get the first kill of the fight. It's going to be two members getting taken out from the side of Tilted. Or from the side of Cobras, as double kill going over to the Zehen. Once again, double kill going over to Albino. Only one member alive for Gaming Cobras, and she will get taken down. Here's the play for the KDAs, and they finally take down the Nexus. 37 minutes, 40 seconds, and about a 29 kill game. 13k gold lead. Tilted get the first game of the series.
I mean, wow, that's really all you can say. Like, again, I've been talking about it before, but the fact that this game went on, for the length that it did, I mean, kudos to the Cobras for hanging on that long with how much of a late game draft that Tilted Albino did manage to draft. But man, oh man, like the victor was just such a headache for literally everyone on the side of the Cobras, because it didn't matter if it was a team fight, didn't matter if it was a one-on-one, didn't matter if he was just sitting in the side lane. Not only was he so hard to catch out, but his positioning was phenomenal in these fights, and just the damage is absolutely ludicrous. We're not at the damage charts yet, but look at that, 42.6k. Holy, that's over 1,000 damage a minute.
Yeah, it's like, I think he averaged more than 1,000 damage a minute, because this was a 37-minute game. Yeah, so,
I don't know the numbers, but
I mean,
you know what I mean.
Far, like, the MVP is definitely going towards Albino Sunbearer. Like, yeah, he's absolutely just to carry this game, like, and with very minimal help also. Like, pretty much just solo carried this game pretty much. So, they pick up that win in the first game here, and a game like this, I mean, it just looked like for hire or Cobras, like, they just couldn't really do anything. Like, they didn't really look for any proactive plays. It was kind of just them slowly getting whittled down. They couldn't really make any proactive plays anywhere. So I really want to see Cobras, be a little bit more active around the map. Because you have that Xin Zhao pick. You really need to kind of just force something across the map. You have top lane pushed in, you have bot lane pushed in, so kind of just try to make some sort of play happen somewhere, and to just don't bleed the game away. But we're gonna take a quick little break. It's a very nice little dominant victory here for Tilt Albino. So we're gonna see if they can ride this momentum to get a nice little clean sweep there, get their first series win, or For Hire Gaming Cobras can even up the series and bring us to a game 3. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're catching Gareth and Banana Bread in this amazing series. Game number one was a little bit crazy, but we'll get into that analysis just in just a little bit. We're seeing For Hire Gaming going head to head against Tilt Albino, and as you can see up there, or just right below us, all those champions that have been played in game number one are taken off. This is a fearless draft, but we're still early on in the tournament. This is just to determine seed order when the actual tournament kicks off into full gear. So, Banana Bread, as we're looking at this draft here, you want to give us a little bit of a recap of game number one?
Yeah, I mean, game one, it was a bit of a slow burn from Tilt Albino. I mean, they just completely blasted For Hire, just locked them out the game within like the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
By far the MVP of that game going to Albino Sunbear, just completely solo carrying that game mid lane with very minimal help. And For Hire,
Mhm.
looking at the draft, like they just instantly lock in the Amumu pick. I
Almost
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't see a lot of
really.
Amumu because I think it is his. Yeah, I think it's Noah's. No, it is not his third most played. Oh no, it is his third most played actually.
Mhm.
It's his third highest mastery at least.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I mean,
like, we're talking
Amumu's
about like facilitating. I mean, this is the champion that can kind of gank a little early and farm
yeah,
relatively
yeah.
quick.
And Amumu, he's not a bad champion. Obviously, he's not like, he doesn't have any carry potential like a Karthus, which is his most played, but it's a very safe jungler, right? Like you basically can't mess up the Amumu. He's got a very solid clear. He's decently tanky, and his ultimate is pretty fantastic. So unless okay. See, they started offering
Whoa.
Shaco. I was like, what kind of shenanigans is going on here? But they are gonna go with a Samira instead, which into a Jhin I think is actually quite good. That's a lot of damage that the Jhin probably isn't gonna be able
Yeah.
to handle.
On the subject of shenanigans, I mean, Samira, that's pretty wicked actually. So,
Hmm.
after a game one loss, they
Oh
went
yeah.
pretty standard. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
For
lock it
Hire
in.
Gaming Cobras, they're kind of going off the rails a little bit here. So they're gonna lock
Lock
in
it in.
hyper aggressive bot lane.
They really should
Like
do
bot
that.
lane, like last
Oh
game they didn't
man.
really do too much, and they're just gonna pivot to the Orianna. So I
Honestly, I
like
don't mind
Orianna
that. Yeah,
honestly. I do like it.
yeah.
Orianna's a good blind pick. So
I mean, also with
I
the
honestly would
champions,
have liked to see them lock in their bot lane. But I
right?
mean, the Orianna
Right.
is still a really good pick. So now for hire, they're gonna try to lock in some things to kind of play with that combo. Or actually, no, they already have the Amumu, so they already have a
Mm.
really nice little combo there. So tilt Sunbear, we're gonna tilt
Ooh.
Albino. They're gonna looking to hover the
No
way,
way.
and they
Oh,
are going to lock it in. So that's actually very
okay.
interesting. So you have a
Right.
very immobile composition against
Mm.
Amumu, Samira, Orianna.
Right.
So that's gonna be a little bit of a roughie. So for hire, they're gonna look to ban away like those big beefy tanks. So the
Yeah.
Alistairs, the Rels,
Yep.
Leona's already off the table. I don't think they should ban away Nautilus. They want to keep that Nautilus up. Maybe ban away Brahms. Brahm probably isn't like as good here because there's
Eh.
not a lot of missiles for you to block, but
Right.
it's still pretty good for peel overall. So
Exactly. And I do believe that Relics does play a lot of the Braum on the side of the Cobras. He loves that champion. I do too, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, like just like you were saying, the Orianna in this draft already, I love it. Not only is it really good blind, but with Amumu and Samira champions that are basically notorious on getting onto champions, it just makes the command shockwave that much harder to dodge. And actually, going to be a Mordekaiser ban. We haven't really seen that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
Oh,
they might be just trying to get set up. What's his name? Girls hate me. Wait, that's not his name. I swear his name was
well, I mean,
different.
hey man, listen, if that's true for you, like I'm not,
Oh no, it
I'm
was
just saying,
Jonakis.
let's
It's
just
their
keep
sub top
ourselves,
laner. That's why.
let's
Oh, yeah,
just
I
keep
was,
it to
I was looking at
ourselves,
the wrong
man.
thing.
Okay. No, I'm just kidding
I
though.
can't tell. I can't say too much, bro. I have a loving girlfriend,
Okay, okay,
fortunately.
that's good.
But Jonakis, I mean, yeah, like, he plays. I think he plays mostly tanks because he's their sub top. He
Hmm, hmm.
is. Yeah. Wait.
Poppy ban.
He's. I don't know. He plays a bit of a smorgasbord, so I'm really not looking too much
Yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But he does play a good chunk of tanks. Looks like they're mostly kind of just putting him on tank duty. So it's gonna be that Nautilus takeaway from the Samira. So honestly, Alistair, lock that sucker
Yeah,
in right
I
now.
really do like the All Star
So,
here.
yeah, Alistair is such a good pick, especially with Samira. Like so
Oh
dependent on
yeah.
knockups. Alistair, easy
Oh
pick.
my goodness. Oh,
Oh, I was gonna say if you pick the crank, the
dude,
crank actually wouldn't be that bad either.
I would love a cranker
I like
right
the
about
crank.
now. Oh,
Yeah, because like I used to be like an OTB crank in like season 6, and they're gonna lock
same.
Braum in. So Braum, he is a counter to Nautilus,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's kind of weird because like you don't proc CC as well for Samir to follow up on.
Right,
It's gonna be an
right.
Ornn pick, so Now, again, like for hire, for the most part, like outside of like the first two picks, they have a really good team fight composition. Like this is
They
a team
do,
that's
but
like just they're just going in. Everybody is super aggressive. Everybody has a good early game. They can kind of beat around the bush a little bit, playing for those fights. Kind of a bit of opposite of what happened last game. They kind of just let the game bleed away. So now they have a team really just
oh
fist
my
fight. It's gonna
goodness.
be a Mundo top
I mean, hey man, you know the
for
song, I know the song. It's
Void.
about to be push, push, push all the time, man.
Oh yeah, this
Holy
game, like last game, like we were talking about it, it's like, Tilt, they're just gonna play for
right.
scaling, blah blah blah. This game is just full fist fight, like for both these teams.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Although I
it's
don't know about the way. I want to think that in the early game he's probably not as aggressive as the Victor. But I mean, hey, I didn't think that that Victor was the most aggressive early. So maybe he plays it a little bit differently.
I mean Hui, the great thing with Hui is like you have a lot of different options. You
Hmm.
have 10 different spells. You have 9 different basic spell rotations. So
Hmm.
you can kind of just do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of different options. With the way Albino was playing last game, like the movement was like on point. So
Oh yeah.
you give him something like a Hui that has so many different options, so many different ways to outplay you, outrange you, CC you, whatever.
Hmm.
But you also have an Oriana. Oriana is just overall just like has been like one of the great champs since she came out in
Oh
like I think it
yeah.
was like season 3 or season
Something like
2.
that. Yeah.
But like I like both these compositions. Like
I
Jarvan is gonna have a really bad time.
he
Your only real guaranteed target is Oriana, but even then, like you don't really have like
right.
great follow up. Like
Eh, I
it's a little
mean,
rough.
Mundo, he certainly hits like a truck late game. Is he the best, like you're saying, at following up? I don't know. Jin definitely has a lot of damage. Is it a lot of burst all at once? Yes. But does he need time to also, get that burst out? Also, yes. Whereas with Samira, it's a lot more flexible because even though the Braum isn't the Alistar, isn't the Nautilus, which does have a lot more crowd control, I feel like the Ornn does provide a lot. The Amumu obviously provides a lot, so Samira could still probably get a lot of damage down at a lot of different points. Whereas with the Jin, it's very telegraphed when its damage is coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the only thing with Tilt is I don't see them having damage to bust through an Ornn Braum Amumu. They're
Right.
running 3 mega tanks with a Samira Oriana in their back pocket. Tilt, they have a bit of a
Oh,
damage issue. Like we kind of said that last game,
eh.
and we were very wrong. But
I think that
a game
Leandra's
like
gonna
this,
go.
this is like a different beast, dude. Like Jin's
Mhm.
notorious for like not being able to punch through tanks, and they lock in 2 mega tanks, 3-4. So
Mhm.
a game like this, like again, I'm still gonna put my eggs in the Cobras basket. I like their comp a lot better, but this time around they really just need to play a lot more proactively. Like you have a jungler that can really facilitate ganks in any lane. Any
Mhm.
of these lanes are
Mhm.
very gankable. So I really want to see Noah just running around this map, clear camp, gank, clear camp, gank. Like
Yeah.
for those proactive plays to put your team ahead. Because if this team is allowed to snowball even for a little bit,
Oh
it's
yeah.
a really bad time for Tilt.
Absolutely, it is. I do think that we are going to be taking a little bit of a break here. Obviously, we got a lot of different things to talk about when it comes to this comp. So just give us a couple minutes and we'll be right back with all the esports action. But until that happens, make sure you drop us a follow at Ember underscore esports on all your favorite social media channels YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Gareth. This is Banana Bread, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After that quick little break, we're just discussing a lot of the picks in this game because obviously in that draft phase we were really hoping for the Alistar, and as an Alistar main myself, I was certainly very excited to see it. Sadly, it was not meant to be, but maybe the Braum is going to bring a lot of defensive utility for the Samira to actually scale and become the mid game monster that she is. But as we head into map number 2, this is still match point, series point for Tilt. So Cobras, they've pulled a lot of the tricks out of the bag for this game. We'll see if it's enough.
Yeah, it's like now this time around they have a really strong composition to facilitate plays across the map. Top lane again is just that's purely like a farm fest. Nothing is
Yeah.
happening there. Quite literally
Oh,
nothing.
we said that last time
So
with the Victor,
already
and
gonna
that's
get early vision. But yeah, Victor is it's just I don't know. Like I'm gonna die on this hill. It was a player diff. It was a roughie. That was a bit of a roughie. You know, you always forget like Victor is so deceptively like strong because like you constantly just take the free poke, and then he immediately just flashes on you and you're dead. Like you always forget about that. Insane just kind of like playing really well mid lane here, out trading Albino Sunbear. Bot lane gonna land that first dredge line with the 4th shot. So Ellie is gonna take a pretty nice little chunk there. So gonna lose out on that first push for the level 2. But again, like a game like this, I expect a lot of the gameplay to be in that bot lane. Both junglers, or no. So Noah did start, again, it's kind of the same path for both junglers. They're, you know, Frosty started bot side, pathing upwards, and Noah started top side, pathing down. So nothing too special here so far this game. But I see Jonicus did that refillable potion strat. So went for the refillable pot, it goes to lane, builds that Doran shield or Doran's helm, whichever one he feels like. But right now it's pretty even on both sides here. No team's quite getting the decisive advantage here as top lane. Void getting chunked like crazy. They're always forgetting Ornn is he does a lot of base damage. Relic's gonna get that bot lane tri ward there. So it's gonna spot out Noah here on the gank. As mid lane, Albino Sunbear, he's actually kind of losing out on the trades. That clockwork wind up going pretty heavy there. Gonna dodge out on that command attack. So Insane is gonna have to pop those pots. It's just gonna back up a little bit. So now mid lane, it's a lot more even now. Like that Orianna is doing so much work for him.
All right, there's no first bloods.
Yeah, not yet. Like what? I think the last game is like right about now.
Something like that,
You
yeah.
have to really be careful there. Searing Charge does go through. That's going to be the brittle proc. One more auto will do it. It's going to be Jonicus picking up first blood top lane. The most unlikely of plays being made. Top lane, bot lane. Relic's going to Spider Nautilus his way on out there after getting hit with that Winter's Bite.
It's the caster curse, man. We said top lane was going to be a farm fest, and there's the first blood. We said mid lane was going to be a farm fest. There's the first blood as well. Down in the bot lane, though, I'm going to caster curse it and say that despite this being a Samir lane, I don't think we're getting a lot.
Yeah, right when we say that, Squint gonna get chunked to half HP. Both bot laners from the side of Cobras gonna get chunked to half HP. Noah looking to hover around for a bit of a gank there, but it's gonna be trade of Scuttle Crabs here. Frosty Crown's going to invade, trying to look for that the initial Gromp, the Gromp reset to get a little bit of invade going on there, but won't really get too much. So it's a nice little gold lead for the Ornn now. Again, going for the Sunfire. I don't really see a lot of Sunfires being built that often in high elo. Like you don't really see it that often.
Right, I feel like Hollow Radiance is just better in every way, but I don't know, maybe you can fact check me on that one. But the bot lane wave state, right, like you just get so much pushing power. But speaking of pushing, the bot lane wave state is absolutely insane because even though Ellie and his friend are pretty low, well, they were pretty low, the wave is still pretty much pushing into tilt, and they're just kind of setting up a nice crash. So the Samira probably not going to be hitting 6 before the Jhin.
Yeah, I mean, like again, like we're kind of seeing that issue where like the Samira can't follow up on the Braum because like yeah, the Nautilus goes in, he does his little combo and he immediately just walks out. Like Jhin does his little combo and he just walks away. Like the Samira isn't able to follow up. Like I don't know, dude. Like it just makes me mad that like if you pick a Samira, you have to play for Samira. It doesn't matter what the enemy picks, you have to play for the Samira. If you don't play for Samira, it's super useless. It's kind of like the same thing with Draven. Frenzy gonna get hit with the Winter's Bite there, no real follow up. You're gonna take a tower shot free, so Frenzy is able to just walk back under his tower. But again, like I said, bro, like there's no engage with the Braum. Like,
It's certainly very rough. I want to say maybe it's because of the Hui. You know, obviously the Victor. I don't know if he roamed bot lane a crazy amount last time, but I feel like with the Hui, you want to keep the Samira as safe as possible, and Hui has a lot of stuff that Braum can block. Maybe that's the reasoning, but like you're saying, man, Samira is a giant investment, and if you're not going to shield that investment with a bunch of engage and extra damage, I don't know. I just don't like it,
yeah, I'm gonna die on that Alistair Hill.
right?
I wanted it. I wanted it,
Glory for the cow!
but you know, it shouldn't be too bad here. The Braum is, you know, is just a hard counter to the Nautilus, but it just really depends. Like usually, because like the way that you play it is that the whoever the ADC is, they have to play like right on the Braum. So once he gets engaged on, you immediately just get the stacks of the
Concussive
frost.
blows.
You get the frost stacks up,
Yep.
you stun him up, and then you just run him down with the constant slows. That's usually how it goes. But usually it's just Ellie just a little bit too far away, so isn't really able to follow up. Frenzy immediately reset and getting that BF sword. So not going for the mosquito build here. He's just going full damage. Is Insane gonna get chunked up pretty heavily here in that bot lane or the mid lane. Otherwise, it's relatively even. First Drake claimed here for the side of Cobras once again here, and Insane he's just getting spaced so hard. Like it's such a I don't want to be that guy, but it's such a diffy. Like he's just getting spaced so hard in that mid lane. Like he's getting spaced. He can't do damage. Like again, he went for a Dark Seal. Why are you going for a Dark Seal? Like
For healing
Albino Sunbear
potions.
went for the boots here as the Spire of the Despair does land. No more mana for Insane, so we're gonna have to get that reset off with no mana, no HP. So we're gonna get that reset off, no teleport either. So just gonna back on up there. Albino Sunbear just accruing himself just a solo lead in the mid lane there. Like he's already up about 16 CS already and costing Insane a lot more CS now, pushing that wave in. So you know, nice little leads for the side of Tilt in their solo lanes. Like Mundo's farming up pretty nicely. Hui's farming up nicely. Jin's farming up great. So pretty much that gold lead that from that first blood top lane is pretty much gone. And Tilt have kind of brought
Basically.
it back there just purely from their individual lane leads.
And honestly, like that's another thing about the Sun Bear, the albino Sun Bear that is that he's just so good at the spacing. We saw it with the Victor, we saw it, we're seeing it with the Hui, and even a little bit of the Mundo there. The or not able to capitalize off that passive, but taking a look at the game so far, again, I do think that Hui is probably a mid-late game, pretty similar to Victor. I don't know if its late game is as good as Victor. Maybe you can fact check me on that one, but the point is standing that I feel like Hui should be even more even in this matchup.
Yeah, Hui, it's just like Albino Sunbear is just so good with the spacing. Because like, we talk about that mid lane, nice little flash there away from the double engage there, unfortunately, Relics. It's going to be trade of flash to support for mid lane here, but that's a Jarvan. He's going to come back with that Cataclysm to get on top of Insane's head there, as Insane just barely dodging out on that route. He's going to keep walking forward. Like, why are you walking forward, man? You're just going to keep getting chunked like crazy. So you're going to get chunked up once again here. Does have that that Drake, but again, dude, Albino, dude, you're an animal. Bot lane, it's going to be a 3v2 dive there. No junglers around. Frosty's Crown is doing the grubbies, but what are you doing? Like, you just show up and then you don't go for the dive. Like, what's going on? Now you're just gonna lose out on the cross map. So once again, it's literally the same thing as what happened last game.
I mean,
Like,
I do like.
gets an individual lead, and then he's just free grub take as the command shockwave gets pulled mid lane there. And Zane is going to Albino. Ooh, that's a bit of a fimble Rooski.
That's okay. You know what? I was gonna say that I actually like the Jarvan going for the grubs there. Your top lane's pushing in, your mid lane's pushing in. There's no dragon anymore, so like yeah, you don't get the dive. But
Dive going down. No, we're gonna get the first kill there. Squid just barely gets out of tower range, just barely living. That's gonna be the barrier popped, and Frenzy gets taken down there. Noah picking up a kill there, so it's gonna be 2-0 now for Cobras, as they are in a significantly better spot than they were last game.
yeah, I mean, you know what? There's the engage with the Braum. It did take a little bit of time, but I feel like now that Glacial Visor is online, maybe it will be a little bit easier to try to get damage onto this lane. But Nautilus, maybe playing with fire there. I don't think you want to interrupt the Samira.
Yeah, honestly, Honestly, relics. I think he Loki. He does kill.
Really?
If he hits the hook with the ignite, I
Well,
think he kills.
yeah. You know what? I don't think you're too far off. He has the aftershock. He has the shield. You might be cooking up a storm there. Hold on.
As
That's
ooh,
the
Jin's going for what's it called? It's that. God damn it! Man, my like brain is just not brainy right now. It's
That's all good, man.
it's like a
Ah.
super niche item. It's an energized item that gives you movement speed when you auto.
Oh. I don't know. Low-key static shiv angle. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, like you apply force shot to everybody on the enemy team, that'd
Right.
be pretty
Right.
good.
That's what I'm thinking right now. You know, it's kind of mosquito Jin build because you're just looking for that force shot, then you run out as soon as as it pops, and then you're just kind of waiting around for the static shift to stack up again. But yeah, I do think he is probably going to be going for a more aggressive build because, as we were saying already, this way is quite a lot stronger. The gold lead doesn't really show it, but I feel like he is comfortably ahead of this Orianna. And I mean, as I say that, it looks like they're going to be able to get Dragon completely for free.
Yeah, they're just gonna pick up their second Drake of the game here, so they're pretty strong. As mid lane, once again, another command shockwave gonna get used there. As the Spiraling Despair lands on top of Insane's head, does have the Severing Bolt. Let's see, it's gonna be a solo kill for Albino Sunbear once again. Janica is coming in here, gonna interrupt. Oh, doesn't quite interrupt the call of the Forge God. Albino Sunbear so low under his own tower, but Frosty's Crown is here to keep his mid laner alive. So Albino Sunbear are going to collect the rest of that mid lane wave here. And it's going to be another solo kill. Jonicus is actually teleporting top lane here. As Void, he doesn't care. He's going to get that proc. He's going to get that proc. He will pick that up there. Does pick up the little canister. As bot lane, once again, another dive. The Witcher's Spike does land. So much CC under the tower. Noah's so low. And Relic's going to pick up the kill in the 3v2. As Ellie gonna pop that W, gonna block a couple shots. He's gonna get rooted up there. The style is getting higher and higher. He's going crazy. He's gonna start popping that ultimate now. As the deadly force doesn't quite land. Going over to Ellie, and the shield doesn't quite come through in time. It's gonna be a kill for the Jin, but double kill going over to Ellie. 4-3 here. Cobra in a great spot now.
I mean, that was amazing from the Cobras to actually bite back a little bit there, pun intended, because they are snakes. But yeah, it looked like Jin and Nautilus were very much in the driver's seat. But there we go. You know, you just give the Samira a little bit of CC with the in the form of the Amumu. He's got 2 bandage tosses plus a Curse of the Sad Mummy, and we already just saw how much damage that Samira can do. But looking up at the top lane, it looks like a dive is in the card.
That's gonna be Boy popping that ultimate, taking up that tower. Jonicus gonna get hit with the passive from the way here, but he's able to get out. No, the Sunbear Bolt from downtown. Albino Sunbear can do no wrong.
Yeah, this guy is just on top of the world for both of these games. I can't wait to see this guy a little bit later in the series because I mean, obviously it's not an elimination right now, but I do believe once the full bracket kicks in, it will be double elim. So
yeah, once you get into the playoffs, it is a double elim bracket. It's like best of 3s all the way until like the lower bracket. I forget if it's lower finals. I think it's lower finals. So until like the last 2 or 3 games of it's like the last 3 games of the bracket is when it'll start going to best of 5s. So I mean, Albino, he's just balling out like crazy again still.
Oh yeah.
Like the junglers, like Frosty, he's pretty much invisible like this whole game. Like outside of protecting his mid laner, like that one play from the horn roam, like how I don't know, man. You're playing Jarvan and you're 0-0-0 at 14 minutes.
But look at the CS lead. Is that not kind of good though?
But like, it's kind of like offset by the Amumu having the kill plus the assist. So it's like it's kind of like as the Glacial Fissure barely missing there. If that hit the Jin, I think he was dead.
I do think so. Yeah, the Amumu was down in the bot side as well, looking for a
there.
cheeky little gank, but it's just not meant to be. As Mundo, he's just pushing. He is tanking up the tower though. So
no, he goes where the hell he's popping that.
That's
Ghost. There's mid lane there. That's gonna be a command shockwave onto Albino Sunbear, but the Spiraling Despair will claim another kill here. Albino Sunbear is 3-0 now. They're really trying to put their eggs in the Samira basket. Already has a collector finish with the BF sword, so she's so strong. Void already completing that Warmogs with the Giant spell, so has that Warmogs passive able to just permanently sustain the lane. But right now, Cobras, they're trying to overload that bot lane, trying to get the Samira as much money as they can. She's 1.6k up on the Jin. As I don't think he wanted to land that Dreadline. I don't think he wanted to land that. It's
I
still a
don't think
1k
so.
gold lead for Tilt. Most of it being once again on Albino Sunbear, as Squint gonna dash forward with the W, almost landing that Winter's Bite. Jonicus is just gonna have to back on out there at this point. He doesn't do anything to that Mundo. So
Yeah, Mundo is here to cash a check, and that check looks awfully a lot like a tower, and he's going to be able to get that. Now his bank account is soaring, being almost 1,000 gold ahead of this Orin. Although he does not have any offensive items, which is the important part, and he's already hitting really, really hard.
yeah, that's like the great thing about Mundo is like you just build straight HP, and you hit like a truck already.
Yeah.
So you know once he starts getting that Heart Steel and then gets that
Titanic Hydra, Blood Mail.
it's yeah, that's what it's called.
Mhm.
Blood Mail. Once he gets that, he's gonna hit very
yeah.
very hard. You know?
Yeah.
Especially with like the lack of like actual kiting on the side of Cobra. Like it's kind of like this whole game is just gonna be like straight fist fight. Like this game's a lot more even than it was last game. Squint taking a lot of damage here. Like you need to watch out, man. That's a Jin Hui. They have a lot of range. Noah looking for that bandage toss into the back line there. They're only going to go for one member. It's only going to be on the Void. The Dreadline is going to go wide. That's going to be a nice little interrupted. Oh my god, the combo's coming through. Cobra with the team fight win. 2 for 1 so far. Flash away by Relics. He's going to spider knowledge his way on out of there as almost getting the combo onto that Samira, as that's going to be the first team fight of the game here. 6 for 6 so far. Drake already up. No jungler on either side here, but Cobra do have the numbers advantage. They're going to start this thing up. No curtain call from the Jin here, so it's going to be a little bit hard. No ultimate from any member of Tilt, but they have a lot of range with the Jin, with the Hui. As Hui, he's going to get a little chunked up there, popping that lava fissure down. They're going to keep doing this Drake. Now Noah's coming back from base, so it's going to force Tilt to just back on up there.
Okay, I think they just go Herald.
Through, but yeah, I think they just need a cross map here. But this is gonna be Mountain Soul Point, the highest win rate soul in the game here for Cobra. I mean, they're still a little bit down in gold, but they have Soul Point, and their crucial carry has a lot of money.
Right? Like, as if Samira needed to be harder to shut down, the Mountain Soul is going to make it insanely difficult because, yes, obviously Tilt has a lot of burst in the form of the Hui and the Jin. If the Samira has a shield, it's going to make all that poke, which, I mean, let's be honest, is half of Jin and Hui's identity. It's going to make it so much harder to actually get the Samira out of the fights before they start, which I feel like if you are Tilt, that's kind of the goal.
Yeah, I mean, the what is it? The Mumu, he's got the Leandres, but he's gonna start building tank now, and the Jin's gonna not do anything. Like he's just gonna be so useless. Like trying to burst through these 3 tanks. I mean, once again, I mean, Jonicus is just kind of just opting for full armor. Eventually, he's gonna start getting some of that MR. But I mean, the gold lead is in Tilt's favor, but it's like the game doesn't feel like it's in their favor. You know, like the game like this, Cobras, they're a lot more proactive. It's not as bloody as it was last game, but they're winning a lot more fights. They're putting a lot more making a lot more plays happen, which is very nice because now you know it's 1-1 in towers. They're about to get the Herald. They're at Soul Point, so it's a really great spot here. As bot lane is just going to be a bit of a fight. Flashed away from the Spiraling Despair. Does get the cannon on the way out. That's Insane. What are you doing, buddy? Why are you walking back into it? Yeah, just back on up. Don't shallow recall. You know, you don't want the Severing Bolt coming down. But you know, it's rough. It's still about the same gold lead as it has been for like the past like what 5-ish
10 minutes, yeah, something like that.
Minutes, something like that. Jin's starting to build towards that LDR here, so really wants to do some damage in these fights. Not going for the mosquito build, like we said. But I mean, Samira, she's so strong. 50% crit.
Oh yeah.
Has the Omnivan boots. Like she's so strong, especially with like the lack of hard CC that's able to get on Samira. She's gonna dash on forward there. That's gonna be a crucial glacial fissure onto the Jin. He's gonna have to flash away there, stun on top of the Jin. The Nautilus, as that's gonna be a lot of CC going down. Flash over. That's gonna be a bandage toss on top of the Jarvan's dome. He's gonna have to flash away there. Doesn't have to flag and drag. They're gonna keep on chasing here. Whoa! But lands a bandage toss over the tower. Samira is not able to get close enough. This tower is ramping up as a Severing Bolt on top of his head. And come on, bro, block that thing, flashing away from the claw. As that goes, all the Force God onto the Jarvan. As the that's right on the edge. The command shockwave just barely lands there, but gets out with the blast cone. As holy cow, so many different that was just really messy, man. Like I don't even know what happened.
And all this
What?
time, the Mundo just has the headphones in, just push, 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 whacking away at that top tower. Only has a couple of plates left. And you know, even though it looks like Cobras did have that fight in their hands, the fact that it's basically a 4v5 this entire time is kind of ringing some alarm bells for me, because Mundo is not going to get any weaker. He already has that Heartsteel completed. I feel like if he starts to join fights now, he will snowball out of control, because that Heartsteel is just going to stack exponentially, and with Mundo already having a lot of health, oh, that Heartsteel proc is probably just going to one-shot Orianna.
Oh yeah, it's gonna do so much damage. Like, but like the play is just they just overforce it like so hard. Like nobody's
Yeah.
able to follow up if you go that deep, man.
I mean,
Like,
I
it's
respect the
crazy.
aggression. They're trying to find any kills they can, because obviously... Oh, wait, hold on a minute.
He's gonna get a little chunked here. Does have the shield in the right direction. So Aspiring the Despair on top of his head. He does have the
Ooh.
flash, so able to get a flash over the wall here. So it's a very crucial cooldown already popped before the Drake spawns. He doesn't. Oh wait, that's a teleport behind by the Mundo. Let's see what happens here. As the Nautilus is gonna have to flash on out there. No CC is there to follow up. So Relics is able to get himself out there. That's gonna be a nice little flank there by Void. Gonna pop that ultimate for the Samira. The combat hero gonna get called up into the mid lane here. It's gonna knock down that mid lane tier 1 Void, going wherever the hell he pleases. That's gonna be a nice little as the Orb comes in with the knock up on the backside. Cataclysm on top of Samira's head. She will finally get taken out there. Jin picking up a double kill, as that's gonna be, oh my god, the way the Jin, they're doing so much. Third call's gonna get used. Frosty's Crown is doing so much. He's trying to get that Sunder Sky proc, as the fourth shot does not quite land. It's going to be a 4 for 3 in favor of Tilt. Inzane is the only member left alive here, and the soul is there for the taking, but nobody, or well, it's not up yet. It's like 20 seconds. Frenzy is so low. He doesn't have flash. He doesn't have barrier. So they're gonna have to be a little bit careful. And Zane doesn't have that shockwave, but doesn't have flash either. So now it's just gonna force the recalls here, and we're gonna get a soul fight part 2 coming up.
Yeah, that was legitimately a buy one get one free for team fights. We had the one team fight, then it started up again when the Ornn joined, and even though it looked like Cobras certainly, I mean, they very clearly have the better team fight with the Amumu ulti, with the Orianna ulti, you know, Samira ulti, like all their ultimates combined so well together. The damage from Tilt is just, it's undeniable. The Hui hits so hard, and even in that one fight where there was like 3 members of Cobra alive, and wait, hold on, we're catching up the Samira.
Taking a lot of damage. The Mundo hits pretty hard. Gonna get that style up, gonna proc the passive. Nope, not quite. So that's a really crucial passive not to get procced here. Gonna heal up with that Warmogs. So now Ellie is gonna have to go back to square one here. They need to look for those crucial engages. Everything is on Noah in these fights. He's the primary engage for his team to get onto that back line. As Albino Sunbear gonna get a nice little root, little damage onto Noah. Chunking him to a quarter of his HP here. He does have a lot of MR. Once again, chunking to about half now. So he's in a really bad spot. Gonna have to be careful. You can't keep face checking that Hui, man. That's a very, very heavy Hui. He's 5-0-3. Once again, just the big carry.
Yeah.
As Braum, whoa, buddy, you don't want to reset now. You're gonna reset on a little bit of vision now. Full prio for the side of Tilt in this Drake pit. You do not want to go into this pit with the Hui zoning you out there. You're gonna pop the eye down. The Severing Bolt not quite gonna land. Noah just walking forward. They're going straight for the Drake, and does have that bolt right on top of them. All the Scorch got into the back line. They're only gonna hit onto one. As Samira going crazy. The Drake gonna get stolen by Noah. The Cataclysm onto the back line onto Samira. She's gonna dash on out there. Mundo's trying to do as much as he can, but he will get taken out. Samira gonna get the first kill of the fight here. She's gonna go crazy.
Goodness.
The oh
the
my god, he's doing so much. Frosty's Crown trying to get into the back line there. And that's a kill onto the Nautilus. Triple kill going over to Ellie. She has no more mana, and I don't think she can keep on going, but she will now back on out there. Soul taken by the side of the Cobras.
I mean, look at that. Right as, you know, just before all that action happened, I was just saying that the Cobras had the numbers advantage in a previous fight, but it still didn't go their way. And now, I mean, they had the numbers, it was basically neutral, but the fact that they were able to win it despite being, you know, a little bit down in gold is pretty impressive. Even though the Samira had basically a sleeper lane, they have definitely found their way back into the game. And even the Hui, as much damage as they have to respect the Samira, because the second she gets on top of him, he's cooked. He's got no Zonias, he's got no armor, he's got magic pen boots, and he's going for a death cap. Like, he has to respect the Samira so much here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, the Void, you know, he tried to do as much as he can in that backline, but mind you, he has no resistance whatsoever.
Right.
And he's not, you know, like that one shot quite yet. You know, he doesn't have that blood mail. Once he starts getting the blood mail, he's gonna do a little bit of damage. But now, right now, this Samira is just Thanos. She has an upgraded collector.
Yep.
She has an IE. She has an LDR now, almost full stacked on the Omnivamp boots. Insane. He has a full stack Darksteel, plus an upgraded Blackfire Torch and a full stacked Seraphs. So now, oh, Frenzy, I think you're dead, buddy. That's a flash forward there.
Goodness.
The auto's coming. Wow, he just dead. He's just dead.
Look at that.
That's a flash is traded by the ADCs here. So now this could be the opening that Cobra need to finally get this game firmly in place for them.
Yeah. I mean, like you were saying a lot earlier, they need to put their eggs in the Samira basket, and as they're doing so, they're seeing how much damage this pick actually has. And, oh, pardon me, I just want to say, like, it's absolutely phenomenal how quickly they were able to remove the ADC, because for a lot of the fights, even though Jhin hasn't been doing the most damage, he is such a headache because the curtain call slows, he has a root, he has traps, he has so many ways of just keeping you inside of this Hui's kill range. And now that he's gone, now they have to play fights a little bit more careful, because they don't have that extra route from downtown.
Yeah, you can tell, like, they're not tracking this Hui's teleport timer. Like, they don't start up this Baron right away here. They don't know that he's bought without teleport, and his teleport just came up. So it's a level 16 Hui, 603, about to finish his third item here with the death cap. So it's gonna be a very rough time there, as Insane gonna look to push up onto this Hui. Gonna have to be a little bit careful. You don't see anybody else on the map, but gold lead is damn near dead even. But like the soul is just such an invisible gold lead, as the soul provides, like, what? I don't even know. They provide
it's like
so much money in stacks. As Braum, I think you're dead, buddy. As that's forcing the teleport for the Orianna here. He's gonna get knocked up. That's gonna be a flash into the backline. 3-man curse on the sad mummy. The Jhin is instantly gonna get popped by the command shockwave. Insane gonna keep on chasing into the backline onto Relics. He does have that Protoplasm Harness ticking down, as the Glacial Bite does land onto Void. They don't have enough to follow up on. That could be the Baron started up by the side of Cobras, as they get the pick onto the bot lane of Tilted Albino.
Yeah, that might just be a free Baron, because Tilted, even though they have so much area damage, I mean, the Hui could probably still deal damage around this Baron pit, but they have nothing left. They lost half of their main engage, they lost half of their range damage, so at this point, it's just a matter of just cleaning up for the Cobras.
He's looking, he's searching 3k, 2.6k, 2.1k, 1k.
Oh my goodness!
He steals the Baron!
Oh.
The Mundo is going to be on the backside, stalling as much as he can. Frosty knows he's dead. He's flashed up in about 5 seconds here, but he's going to die like a man. He will get taken down. Insane going to pick up that one, and that's going to be 3 members on tilt with the Baron.
Wow, talk about a caster curse. I literally just said it was just the Cobras just having to clean up and they can secure that Baron, but no, I mean, Crown has some very different ideas. He was like, I'll take that to go. He does die for it, but the fact that they took it out of the hands of the Cobra is so massive, because now, like you're saying, they aren't tracking the Hui's teleport timer. Now he can go to literally any lane and probably get a tower out of it, if not just create a ridiculous minion advantage, as this Elder Dragon is coming up in a minute.
Yeah, they're going to have the Baron for about a minute when the Elder spawns here. So it's going to be an Elder flip kind of game here. For the first time this series, Cobra has a bit of a gold lead. They lose the Baron, but they still have the soul. They get a lot of plates with those resets on the push. So now it's going to be an Elder fight. Like, this is going to be the flip of all flips. Noah and Frosty are both 1 for 1 in steal so far here. As, Albino, you're dead, buddy. He doesn't flash out of the knockup range. He's dead. He's done. And that's going to be a 54-second death timer here. He's going to be up in about 10 seconds after the Elder spawns. This is the perfect time for Cobra to get that prio now.
Yeah, if that doesn't tell you that Cobra is back in this game and starting to kind of run away with the Samira damage, then I don't know what will, because we've seen the Hui, dare I say, play a little bit cocky. Instead of going for a Zonius like he has, or like he had in the previous game, he opted for the death cap, and it absolutely bites him in the butt, because if he had Zonius there, maybe he saves himself. I mean, Samira probably still gets onto him, but he could still probably land a fear, but now he's gone, and that is so much damage and gold away from Tilt's team. You know, he's got a 1.3k gold lead just on himself, and now it's just flushed down the toilet.
Oh, Relics. I think you're... Oh.
Nah, he's fine. Good buffer on the
Yep.
hook.
Yep, Spider Nautilus is doing the deed again, as that's a Samira with
Yeah,
Immortal Shield Bow. So they're
and an
gonna
Elder
start
Dragon.
up this break here. Albino Sunbear does have that teleporting in. Oh no, buddy, he's gonna get spotted on the far site. So that's gonna be some nice little vision there. But they're gonna get all spotted on the ward now. Finally gonna get taken out by the pink ward as Noah, he's looking for the engage. He's feeding for it. He gets it out to the back of two members, and the command shockwave is gonna do so much. Three members backed up by the call of the force god. The Samira is going deep. She's gonna go crazy. She's gonna go bananas, getting an S tier on to three members until four members instantly killed. And they're gonna claim this Elder Drake, and they're gonna keep on pushing.
I mean, yeah, like we were saying before this fight, if this doesn't tell you that the Cobras are back in the game and starting to win it, despite a crazy gold lead it wasn't that crazy in the beginning of the game. It was definitely looking like Tilt had this one yet again, but through a series of smart plays and coordinating the fights and giving the Samira what she needs to start doing the ridiculous amounts of damage that we just saw in that fight. Now Cobras, they're just snatching victory out of the jaws of defeat. Whereas Tilt, they now have to respect this Samira so much more now because she's got Collector and an Elder Dragon. That's like, what, a 15% health execute? If not higher.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like 20.
Yeah, something like that. But regardless, the point still stands. She does so much damage. She can execute so well. And with Wei, again, still not having any armor in his inventory, when Samira gets on him, he will literally pop like a balloon. And same with the Jhin. Has no armor, literally nothing. And even Jarvan to some extent. He is naturally tanky, but if the main engage has their GA pop, that's 3 seconds where they're not able to stun up, the carries of Cobra.
I mean, yeah, Noah, he always gets these engages like perfectly. Like that engage was perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
And Zane saw the vision. He saw the vision. It instantly pops the ball on him. Boom! Command shockwave dead. And those last few engages from Noah absolutely clutch. Like this game. I mean, he had a bit of a slow start, but he's just been so clutch so far this year or this game here.
Yeah.
He's completely unlocked 6.3k, 6.5k gold lead now for the Cobras. This is the biggest lead they've had so far this series, and it's just gonna keep going higher and higher. They're gonna get this Elder for about another 50 seconds here. No, taking a lot of damage, but all the shields, the Orianna shields, the Mountain Soul, it's doing so much for them right now. And they don't have a lot of engage. Frosty is the only man that can go in, but he just gets instantly obliterated. Not really having a lot of armor either. So,
and look at that Mundo, even though he has so much health, that was a Braum Q and a Samira Q, and he's basically half health already. Still no resistances, has a lot of AD, but at this point, you need to play for your backline because you're not getting close to the Samira.
Oh yeah, like he has the blood mail now. He hits pretty hard, level 17 Mundo, 448 stacks on that Heartsteel, but the Elder Drake about to Elder buff about to despawn here in about 5 seconds. Void taking a lot of damage, but able to heal up with that Warmogs. But now the Elder buff is gone, so they're going to back on up. Baron up in about another 25 seconds here. Ornaments are starting to come through. They're going to look to Death Ball in here. They're going to look to try to play for something, but I don't suspect them walking in anytime soon. The Nautilus is bot side. They're not looking to play for that vision, but they're playing for that death push. They're all going to get spotted by the far side, and now they're going to go put everything into Mundo here. He's going to get taken down so quick. This Samira is so strong. Going to go legendary, flashing forward. He's ground. He's barely going to live, and he gets hit with the glacial fissure. What is it called? The redemption not going to be enough. It's going to be 2 members instantly taken out here as Cobras. They're going to look to play for the end here. Albino Sunbear trying to do as much as he can with the wave clear. They're putting out the fissure on top of the wave, and it will kill the wave. Actually, the back line up to be a 2-minute curse of the sad mummy. Relics, he's going to get CC'd up instantly. Albino going to get taken out. Double kill going over to Samira once again here. Just dancing all over on the current call. Oh my god. He just instantly kills him under his own tower. It's going to be it's going to be a clean ace here as 4 higher gaming Cobras. They're going to even up this series, and we're going to go to a game 3.
I mean, hey, listen, man. Insane was not kidding when he said that Ellie, the ADC, is their star player because that definitely takes some star player skill and mentality to come back from that amount of deficit. And I mean, that amount of like mental deficit from map number one, and just being able to just drop it like it's hot, and then play so well in map number two. Again, despite dare I say a less favorable duo with the Braum, they had so many of picks that were available that could have snowballed the Samira so much earlier on in the game, but just the fact to just stay focused and let Noah take his time, like you're saying, bit of a slow start for the Amumu, which we don't usually see, but he was able to just stay cool, say, hey, Noah, take your time, far up, get your Leandres, get your Sunfire, and then we could just wipe the entire team. And Noah's like, all right, bet. And they just start flooring. They start flooring and mopping the floor with everybody on Tilt Albino. It was just wild. They started running away so fast, and look at that damage. That basically tells you everything. Samira was here, and they ate and left no crumbs.
Yeah, like I'll say a hot take. I think
Okay.
Noah might be the player of the game. Like
Nah,
hot
that's
take.
that's the coldest take ever, bro. If it wasn't for him, Samira's not getting online.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Right?
Noah, every engage damn near immaculate. At least bare
Mhm.
minimum, at least two people per Curse of
Oh
the Sad
yeah.
Mummy, and always getting on the crucial target of the
Yeah.
way. Like
Mhm.
Albino just could not get anything done just because Noah was constantly in his face, taking him out. But
Mhm.
no,
Look at that.
that's definitely no knock to Ellie. Like I mean, balling like
Oh
63k
yeah.
damage, more than pretty much everybody on the side of Tilt. Albino is crazy. Like
Mhm.
like definitely a massive carry, a bit of a slow start for the Cobras, but they got sufficient leads, they got the right fights, and they take this game. But we're gonna take a quick little break as we start getting ready for game three between four higher gaming Cobras and Tilt Albino. Oh,
You know what?
never
Just
mind. I
before
guess
I
we're gonna keep going. Honestly,
all right, I mean, hey,
they
that's chill.
just went straight to the break, or they just went straight into the draft. It
Hey,
looks
that's
like
okay.
between Cobras
After that
and
game,
Tilt.
I'm dying to see game number three, man. I don't know about you, but we cannot just leave on a break after a brutal two-game series. And especially after map number two, it feels like Cobras are warmed up now as the bands are just firing right away. Again, still taking away that Poppy, still taking away that Karthus. I would be really interested to see how the Albino Sunbear would fare against the Karthus on four higher Cobras. Because that would be like a battle of the hyper carries, but it's not meant
Yeah,
to be right now. But I wonder what else the albino sun bear has in his repertoire because so many
I
of his
mean,
mid picks have been taken away.
yeah, we both teams they stay on the same side, so it's just four hires are sticking on blue side. Tilt they're gonna stick on red side because I think last
Oh.
game, yeah, I think yeah, four hire
Mhm,
opted for first pick. So
mhm,
now Tilt they're gonna get first pick, so they're gonna instant lock the Seraphine here. The Nautilus is out, so that is one of the key counters to Seraphine, just
mhm.
kind of just going in. So honestly,
Yeah, same with
this,
Braum.
this wouldn't be a crazy game to see the crank, honestly.
Yeah, you
But
know
it's
what? I
going
would
to
like to see a
be
cranker.
I do like to see the crank, but we will see. There are other picks such as an Alistair,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
But
like
into Seraphine,
into
it's pretty
Seraphine.
rough.
It's like a little rough, but oh, they're gonna lock
Ooh, I don't
Rakan.
mind that.
Okay,
I
so
actually
I
like that.
I really like Rakan.
Yeah.
Vi Rakan is a really good duo
Oh yeah.
because
You
you should
talk
get
about
the
a pick
instant
comp.
lockdown
Yeah.
plus Rakan just instantly following it up. And so it's going to be Seraphine Sivir. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, it is a
I don't
popular
mind that.
combo. You have
Yeah,
that
right.
range, you have a lot of safety with the Sivir, the spell shield.
Mhm.
But, and there's
And
only
you
so
could
much
go.
stuff you can spell shield with the
That
Vi
is
jumping on top of your dome.
that is
But
true.
they're going to
Oh,
take away the Zaya
actually, I
instead
like that.
here.
Mhm. Yeah. See, because now you deny the Xayah Rakan combo for the side of the Cobras, but also a lot of Vi's pressure comes from the fact that she could just ult you, and now you're dead unless you have an answer, and Xayah has the perfect answer, if not one of the best answers in the game for that Vi ult, Assault and Battery.
Yeah, that
See?
Zaya is a good counter to Vi, but
Mhm.
it's a really, really bad blind pick ADC wise. So
Oh,
it's a little
yeah,
rough.
that's true.
Wukong, I mean, he's pretty good. Wukong is good,
Yeah,
really good in the Vi.
yeah.
Especially with like a team that's very AD heavy. So for high, really gonna have to be a little bit careful about how they draft
Mhm.
into this Wukong. So again, once again, Tilt, they're just going straight like
Neela.
team fight. And Neela,
Ooh.
wow. Okay, so Rakan Neela
Oh,
is a really good duo actually
really? Okay,
because
you wanna break that down for us? Because I haven't really
because
seen
Neela,
Rakan
her
Neela.
passive. shares shield
Right.
that she gets to her ally. Rakan gives
Oh my
2
god.
instances of
Right.
shield with the
Right,
E
right, right.
plus the Q heal. So they have a lot of sustain and a lot of all-in potential with that duo. And it's a little rough into a Xayah just because Xayah kind of depends on people to dive into her, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a really heavy skill diff. Like you need to position yourself correctly to get that blade caller to maximize that potential with the feathers.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I really like the Eli Ellie is picking crazy picks ADC, but they're like on paper they really work out.
Oh, absolutely they
Especially
do.
like you can't trade again with the W because it's an auto attack dodge. So that's
Absolutely,
a
and
lot of potential there.
and another really good thing about the Rakan and the Neela is like you're saying, as the Xayah, you have to position perfectly to get that route going. But both of these champions dash, even Vi dashes. She's not a bot laner, but yeah, I don't think it's crazy to assume that she's probably going to be sticking down bot lane. And as you're saying, Cobras need to draft a great plan against this heavy AD comp, and Shen is a beautiful answer because not only does Neela block attacks, but Shen also blocks attacks for the entire team, and Neela can also spread her blocks, her attack blocking to the entire team. So how are you supposed to auto attack these guys? And as Albino drafting a Camille, I don't know if that's the right play, but a Mordekaiser, I think that's significantly better.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is known like
That's
pseudo
good.
counter to Shen
Yeah.
because you can still pop your passive even in the Spirit's Refuge. So I like the Mordekaiser pick. It's a good, really good side lane threat. It's able to contend
Mhm.
with the Shen. Like you're not. It's gonna take a minute for you to beat him like straight up in a 1v1,
Yeah.
but later on, like it's a really good side lane threat. So I do like this Mordekaiser pick, and it's gonna be a
Ooh.
Lissandra blind. Okay, so this is actually very
Okay.
interesting because Lissandra is notorious for countering high mobility champions. So
That is
Neela
true.
is like
Oh
eh,
my goodness.
not quite. Oh,
Wait,
Vygar?
that's spicy. I like that a lot. That's really
Okay,
spicy.
I actually do like this. So
Dude, I
Tilt, they
do
have a
too.
crazy team fight. It
Oh,
Gallia. Oh,
oh.
nope.
Oh
Don't go
my
Kassadin.
goodness.
Wait.
This is the fabled
Uh.
Caston game that Insane was telling me about. I'll talk about it later, but oh my gosh.
Ooh. I don't know, man. It's a little.
It's
It
a
does
gamble.
pretty well
That's
in the side.
locked in,
Okay, so it's a
baby.
Casa win. Casa win. So gonna play that Casa in here. The side lane pressure for higher is crazy. Like their side lane threat is
Absolutely.
insane. Like they're just gonna
Absolutely.
dog the
And
side lane for so long.
their late game is ridiculous.
Yeah, like these games have been going what, like
Yeah,
30
38
plus
minutes,
minutes?
40.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
Kassadin, like he's gonna feast like really hard in these side
Oh,
lanes.
yeah.
It's just gonna like permanently scale, not really he's not gonna get punished like super hard against the Vigard, and it's a double AP side lane. So
Mhm.
15% less magic damage taken
Yeah,
purely from the
right?
passive plus ghosted. Like Kassadin is gonna be feasting in the side lane, especially once he starts getting
Mhm.
that Roa procced up and he starts getting the tier stacked up and all that. Like, he's gonna be doing really well in the side lane. It's gonna be hard to pick the guy out once he starts putting a couple points
Yeah, right.
into that Rift Walk.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like he's so good against the Vygar because not only is the Vygar cage like heavily reliant on you not having a blink, but Vygar's not a very tanky champion. He has damage. Don't get it twisted. He could blow you up in a matter of seconds, but with that extra damage reduction that Casson gets just from his passive, it makes it deceptively hard to kill him. And I was actually talking to Insane before the game happened, and he was like, "Yeah, I have a really good Caston pick, but it's only allowed to come out in very certain games. The mid laner has to be something that isn't going to poke a lot and has to scale really, really hard. And I think that Vygar is one of the perfect champions to play the Castanet against.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like this Kassadin is going to feast like really hard.
Mm.
Like Cobra's team looks a little weird, but I really like this
I
team actually. They have
I don't think it looks
really
too
good team
strange.
fight and they are full dive. Like they're going way in. Like you
Oh,
get
yeah.
the Stand United on top of Neela, and she's
Mm-hmm.
gonna give that massive shield, a fraction of that shield to
Yep.
somebody else. You got
Mm-hmm.
Cassin diving, you got Vi going in, you
Yep.
got Rakan diving in on top. He's gonna piggyback off of whoever the hell he's keying off of. Like this is a great team fight comp. But Tilt, like they have a really good team fight comp of their own. Mordekaiser able to take out whoever the hell he wants. Honestly,
I feel like they're
probably.
more I feel like they're more poke reliant because, like, yes, obviously Mordekaiser can take somebody out by himself. Wukong, definitely a very good diver. Seraphine as well, definitely has a really nice ulti. But I feel like the Vygar, it just does so much damage, and there's not really a lot of catch out potential. E is there, but you could flash out of the E, right? Like it's not the most consistent follow up tool.
Yeah, it's like Tilt, they have a lot of AoE CC. Like they have a lot of great zoning tools. So they just have
Mm,
to kind of scale up a little bit because Wukong, he's kind of useless until you hit level 6. Vigar kind of
pretty
useless
much.
until he gets a little AP under his belt. But
Pretty much.
looking at both these comps, man, like it is gonna be a crazy game 3. But we're gonna be taking a quick little break before we get onto the rift for the final game between 4 higher game Cobras and Tilt Albino.
Hello and welcome back to the third and final map of this series between the Cobras and Tilts. My name is Gareth, and I'll be your color caster for tonight. And of course, we have Banana Bread, one of the best play-by-play announcers in the game. And man, oh man, this map is going to be pretty crazy. We see a lot of crazy picks here. The Kassadin and the Vygar mainly come to mind, but of course, the Neela with all of her amazing synergy with like 60% of the team on the side of Cobras is definitely going to be a point of contention against this double-ranged bot lane. But Banana Bread, how are you feeling headed into this one?
Oh, dude, yeah, like this is only game 3 of Fearless, and it's already kind of going a little bit off the rails here. As already some very aggressive trading early in the bot lane. Relic's going to take a lot of damage, but Squid is going to take a little bit more back. So you went for Aftershock. So you don't see a lot of
Yeah, right?
Aftershock Rakans very often, just because Rakan's so slippery. He doesn't really take a lot of damage. That's why like you usually go for something like a Guardian or a what's it
Yeah, I was
called?
just
It's
saying.
Glacial Augment. So
Ooh, yeah, Glacial Augment wouldn't be too bad because they have so much burst on the side of Tilt. Obviously you have the Xayah, which is known for burst. You have the Vygar, which is burst incarnate. I feel like it wouldn't be too bad here, but at the same time, lethal tempo is definitely one of the harder keystones to fight into.
yeah, it's like what's it called? Yeah, Glacial Augment. It's like, I mean, it's basically it's a free exhaust. It's a
More or
15%
less.
damage reduction, because regular exhaust it's 25% if I remember. It's like 25% or 20% plus a slow and all that. But like
I mean, you can have a
Glacial
Glacial
Augment's
Augment.
like the same exact thing, but it's like a
It's
15%
AoE.
cooldown.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
plus it's AoE. So like Glacial Augment is so good. Like you don't really need to take it when an exhaust. You don't really need exhaust, especially against a team like this. Glacial Augment actually would have been really good, but you probably just
Right.
want to go for the Guardian just because, like, when you want to stack that shield, especially on a champion that like goes in very, very often. Right now, I mean, it's to be expected bot lane. It's a bit of a push it by the Xayah because Neela is fairly short ranged, but it's a slight gold lead or tilt. I mean, to be expected. Most of their champions do fairly well into Cobra's champs early on. Again,
Yeah.
junglers. Oh, they're actually both pathing bot side this time around, so we're gonna
Yeah.
kind of see a bit of a early fight here. So Noah just finishing the red buff here, so it's a 4 camp clear. Going, yeah, it's full clear for both junglers.
But
So we're gonna see what happens.
something that we brought up during the draft is obviously the Wukong, because yes, both junglers are pathing towards the spot side, but at the end of the day, is Wukong really a champion in terms of ganking until he's got level 6? You know what I mean? Like, he can dash in, sure. He can reduce your resistances, sure. But that Cyclone is really the only thing that he's got, whereas Vi, she's perfectly happy ganking even at level 1 with the Vault Breaker. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but she can get onto someone and stun them at level 1. That is insanely valuable.
No, absolutely. I mean, you get that a little burst there with the denting blows, which is very nice early on. Like that little extra hunk of CC is very nice, especially when
Yes.
you have somebody that can slingshot off of you, like the Rakan, because he actually did go for on the subject of Glacial Augment and Exhaust. Rakan actually went for Exhaust, which is it's not bad here.
I think it's
Probably.
good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Noah, here he is mid lane. Let's see if he gets his prediction, and he gets it right there. Flash Vault Breaker, and Albino Sunbear gonna get taken down here for first blood.
That was a bit of a fly swat onto the Vygar, because the Vi just did so much damage that as soon as she flashed onto the Vygar, he was dead immediately. I don't think we're going to be getting any engages on the bot side, though, but we are going to see a TP forced out already.
Yeah, teleport already used by the Vygar here. Doesn't want to miss any extra money from that wave. So just gonna get the the Kassadin 2 reset there. Did get a stack of that Dark Seal there. Jonicus is having a little bit of a roughie in that top lane there.
Yeah.
The Mordekaiser are doing a lot of damage, as unfortunately Squid are gonna miss on that grand entrance, unfortunately. So that's why, like, I don't think Aftershock is like super great on like Rakan, just because you're so slippery. Like, you don't really need it, You're already dip dodging and diving enough, You don't really need it that much. As that's gonna be a route onto the Neela there. Okay, that's a nice backstep by Frenzy. Gonna get exhausted there, Squid, keeping his ADC alive. So It's a bit of a. I don't think I've seen Squid land a single grand entrance yet, so it's a little bit of a roughie.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a roughie. You know, you kind of need to hit that CC to proc the aftershock. But
Very,
I
very
mean,
true.
the
But you
gold
know
lead
what?
is yeah, it's, I mean, it's dead even. Still dead even. You know, nothing.
It's dead
going
even,
on.
but as we saw in game number 2, Noah also had a bit of a slow start, but he was absolutely an extremely valuable player. So I think once, I think once, oh geez, what's his name, gets warmed up on that Rakan, we are going to be seeing a little bit cleaner engages.
Yeah, like I love Rakan. Rakan is like by
Oh
far
yeah.
like one of my best champions because like with
Mhm.
Rakan is like you need to be able to play that you gotta kind of play like that slippery engage champion. It's not like a Leona or Nautilus where it's like you're on a one-way ticket to death, you know. You're playing a
Mhm.
Rakan, you go in, you engage, you know, you charm up everybody as much as you can, then you dip out.
Mhm.
As you're just going forward here, nobody's here to follow up. You're gonna have to be a little bit careful, buddy. You're not gonna get in range of the E quite yet. You're barely getting in there before the Blade
Yeah.
Caller roots him up. Mid lane, Insane doing a lot of damage, proccing that electrocute mid lane
Oh.
here, going in with the Rift Step. Gonna have to be a little careful. You're in execute range,
Oh.
flashing away from the W from the Vigar. So once again, Albino Sunbear picking up a lead just for himself in the mid lane. There's just a slight gold lead and a very slight CS lead, so only about 100.
Mm.
But right now it's dead even, knowing Vigar does have the flash there. Noah does have that cease and desist. He's going to loop around once again for another gank mid. Frosty's Crown is he's in the bot side. He's gonna reset. He stops that teleport,
Oh.
but Insane picking up a kill for himself there. 3 stacks on the Dark Seal, and once again Noah making the plays happen in the mid lane there, trying to get this casted in to cast a win.
Yeah, exactly, and unfortunately Wukong not able to do anything, even potentially even getting shoved off the crab as well. He's just gonna rub salt into the wound, but even though he's level 6, he couldn't really do anything there. The Vigar's too low, and the Cassidon hurts way too much, especially with that execute, sorry, electrocute being basically an execute if they're low enough health. So it's just very hard for the Vigar right now. He is opting to go for the Catalyst, which is probably gonna slow down his power curve just a little bit, but the Cassidon's certainly very happy with that first kill in his pocket.
Ooh, that's a nice little taunt there. Void taking a good chunk of damage there. Gonna land the claw there. Unfortunately, not landing that isolated Q. So yeah, Insane is doing pretty well for himself here now. Dodging out on a lot of these abilities there. You know, using that passive ghost to his great advantage. First strike was claimed by the side of Tilt for the first time in the series, actually, surprisingly. So now it's a nice little gold lead for Insane in that mid lane. They're about 300, so nothing too crazy. Most of the gold lead is on Noah, is able to have 100% KP, getting a lot of those ganks off mid lane there. Void is having a great time top lane. Jonica is constantly getting pushed under his tower now. Void is level 6, so it's very hard to gank him because now he's able to take anybody he wants to Brazil.
Pretty much. Nearly gonna get rooted, but not a lot of poke damage though.
Yeah, I kind of want to see a bit of a play being made bot lane here. Because like, even though Neela, like, surprisingly, like that Neela passive is doing wonders.
Oh,
Like,
it's
because
not,
like
it's
there's
not
also
a
another
secret.
component of it is like you share XP, full XP with your lane partner. So you're able to kind of like, so both players get full minion XP. So like you get, like, for example, like level 2 you would get, oh, hold that thought there, mid lane, that's gonna be a cyclone onto the the Cassidon, and he just instantly gets obliterated there. 2 ults used to get a nice free kill there. So now Albino Sunbear are gonna have a little bit of alone time with that turret, as Jonicus is getting chunked like crazy under his own tower there. As Void
Yeah.
just gonna back on up there, heal up with the W. So now the gold lead now back in favor of Tilt after that 1 kill mid lane, getting to claim a plate mid.
Now taking a look at the bot lane state, it is going to be pushing into them, but obviously Wukong pathing down bot side, but no Cyclone as he just used it mid, so I feel like any dragon play or any tower play is going to be going the way of the Cobras. Because Wukong, he's got no fighting power left.
Yeah, Wukong is he's a bit of a paperweight now, as Ellie is gonna try to bait up a little bit with that recall there. That's a juicy Neela. Going for a collector first item there. Yeah, a little bit down in CS, just purely because of the support matchup mostly. But Insane gonna riff walk forward there, claiming a plate for himself in front of the Vigar's face, as Jonicus is gonna get pulled back once again. Oh, it's pulled.
He's taking a drip.
I don't really it's just I don't really expect too much from this. The only thing it's gonna really do is kind of like mess up the wave, and it's gonna freeze. But
Low-key kind of
Insane,
worth.
yeah, he's gonna get a little damage off there. Both mid laners building Catalyst now. So Frosty, he has level 6, so he's gonna reset in the bush, but he's gonna get spotted on that ward pings coming through, so they do know where he's at. But now, I mean, the game's kind of stagnated a little bit here. It's a 1k gold lead actually, just purely off of like the micro in each lane for the side of tilt. So Noah really gonna have to kind of push this tempo a little bit. Void, he doesn't have that ultimate, does have flash, so it could possibly, that is a point of contention that Cobra can go for. But now the game's kind of slowing down. I mean, this game's really slow. It's a bit of a slow bleed, but Cobras, I mean,
See,
they scale really well.
I was gonna say that as well, but at the same time, do you really want to give the Vigar space to farm? Do you really want to give the Xayah space to farm? Because even though Xayah doesn't scale infinitely, she absolutely has a ridiculous like 3-4 item power spike, especially with those with the feather calling, whatever that's called, the root. It hurts so much.
Oh yeah, though, like that, especially a team that has like 5 divers. Squid, he's gonna come in here, flashing forward with the charm,
Okay.
not gonna get hit put into the event horizon. So it's gonna be a trade of flash and support for mid laner. So Albino Sunbear, now he's gonna be in a bit of a predicament now. But Ellie gonna have to back on up there, gonna lose out on a little bit of CS, but you know that crucial cooldown used by Squid won't really amount too much, but it's a nice little trade there. Gonna be down a flash for about 5 minutes. Cloud Drake is up, Herald or the Grubbies are up. So that's a lot of free space for Cobras to try to do something here on that flash timer from the Vigar.
Yeah, they can certainly shut him down a lot easier, but I guess he's going in for a bit of a trade.
Yeah, he's going for a bit of a trade there. Does get that
Not
electrocute
bad.
proc off. So
I
it's a
think
little damage off, but yeah, gonna have to be a little careful of that poke.
I just think that the important thing to note is that Cobras, they are able to get that the Wind Dragon, so their rotations to and from the lanes and to and from a lot of these fights that I think Tilt really do want to start around these objectives are going to be a lot faster. And you know, we've seen the Cobras not really keep track of the Vigar's well, not the Vigar's TP, but Sunbear's teleport rotations. I feel like if Tilt get too confident, similar to what we saw in map 2, they aren't going to be paying a lot of attention to how the Cobras are playing or where they position on the map. And with this Vigar's flash being down, with him not having a crazy amount of offensive items so far, this could blow up in his face once again.
Yeah, the Vigar, he's gonna get ran down here. That's a level 10 Kassadin. No flash, but Seraphine is here just in the nick of time to keep that Kassadin off his back. So the Kassadin, oh yeah, he died once, so the Dark Seal's pretty useless now. But the Wukong did start up the Grubbies here, so gonna claim all 3 pretty much with 0 contest. But it is 1-to-1 in Drakes. I mean, the gold lead is just literally just ballooning, just purely off of like a macro diff. As it's about 2k here, it's gonna be, oh, it's actually, so Noah barely gets there in the nick of time, sneaking out or eking out 1 grub there. So no 3 grubs, no passive for the side of Tilt there. A little unfortunate, so they lose the Drake, they lose all 3 grubs, but it's not too bad. I mean, yeah, I mean, just a game like this is a game that what is it? That Cobra really want. Like, they just want this game to kind of just slow down a little bit. Vigar's at 131 stacks, so he's pretty strong. But I mean, Insane, he's taking a lot of damage here. Gonna have to be really careful because now he's in dangerous range. He's in execute range, so he really does want to build those Merc treads really soon here to kind of put himself up a leg against the Vigar. Albino already finishing those tier 3 boots once again here. So like his farming is crazy. He's averaging 10 CS per minute. Like same thing with Frenzy.
And yeah, just okay. Actually, wait a minute. Vigar going to be finishing up those tier 3 boots, so his quest is going to be a little bit farther along than the Kassadins, which means that oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice little engage on the bot lane there. That's gonna be a Blade Caller rooting up the Neela. So it's gonna be Exhaust and ult from Swit traded for Flash and ult from Frenzy. So that that Feather Storm is going to be a crucial cooldown. It's really long. It's like a 2-minute cooldown. So that's Noah. He has a 2-minute window with the cease and desist to try to make something happen in that bot lane. It's gonna be a Chemtech Soul, so not the best soul, but I mean for the side of For Cobras, it's a really nice soul to have because like you have Shen shields, you have Vi
Mm-hmm.
shields, you have Cassidy shields, you got everybody has shields on the side of Cobra, so
Pretty much, yeah.
they're gonna have a great time, especially with all that extra tenacity that you would get
Oh
from a
yeah.
possible 3 Chemtech Drakes. That's something that Cobras really want to look to have in a game like this.
I don't disagree. I think that a lot of the Cobras are going to be very comfortable with this Hex Tech Dragon, and even if they weren't, just taking away a Dragon Soul from the opponents is generally a good thing. But the important thing to note is that there's no exhaust for Squid, so if the Vigar does manage to find a good angle like this one, I mean, Squid is not going to be able to save him.
Yeah, it's Squid. I mean, that's the thing about Rakan, like especially playing against like a Vigar or something. Is like it kind of limits your mobility because once you're stuck in that cage, it's a really rough time. Because he went for the Lucidity boots. Jonikis is having a rough time here. Anyway, he went exhaust. I just realized he went exhaust.
Ooh.
He went
Oh, yeah, look at
exhaust
that.
flash. Okay, okay, I did
I mean,
not see
he
that.
gets the teleport anyway, and his ult teleports him, so maybe it's
Yeah,
not so
I mean,
bad.
it's like, I don't know. Well, mid lane.
Oh.
Yep, he's
Oh.
this is the dead feller here. That's a flash away there, going into the event horizon. Gonna have to wait for that rift walk once again there, and Zane gonna pick up his second kill of the game. So flash by Noah. Ooh, well, I was really hoping he would dash back in. So it is gonna be first tower blood claimed by the Mordekaiser in that top lane. He's just blasting the Shen here. It's been a bit of a rough time. The Shen hasn't ulted once. So
Oh.
Frenzy, he doesn't have that, or no, I think he does have the
Oh.
ult, as they're gonna go on in there with the charm, gonna knock him up. The
Oh.
CC coming in, everybody
Yeah.
dashing in for the party, and Ellie gonna pick up that kill under the tower, teleport in by Void. He does have the ultimate. He does have a pretty chunky shield here, but I don't know if you want to play that 3v1. Herald claimed here on the cross map by Frosty's Crown. But no sums on Frenzy is a bit of a rough time, as actually,
Oh.
that's a big ultimate
Oh.
from the Vigar here. Finally, Shen using that Spear's Refuge to its advantage. Gonna flash over, does still have that Cyclone, gonna
Oh,
flash
no.
on top of his head, as the exhaust finally does come down here.
Oh
Jonikis
my God.
is
It's
so
gonna save him.
low,
It's
he's
gonna
so low,
save him.
he
It's
doesn't
saved
get the
him.
dash,
Look
and
at
he
that.
just barely gets out. And it's gonna be 2 kills on the map going over to the side of Cobra. But now it's gonna be another
Oh.
knock onto the Vigar. They know he doesn't have flash, he does have that event horizon here. Gonna get chunked to half HP, teleporting into the mid lane just to instantly go back now. But it's still a 2k gold lead for Tilt, 1-1 in Drake's. Chemtech Drake is up. Void is walking mid lane, does have that ultimate, so able to take anybody he wants into the death realm here. Almost gets CC'd up there. As Pop is the W, flash away from the grand entrance by Relics. So no flashes on the side of Tilt here on pretty much their main core except for Void. Same thing, the bot lane of Cobra, they have flashes, but they're going straight on to Relic. Jonik is going to pick up his first kill of the game here with the Titanic Hydra, so that means they get the third Drake for free, uncontested here, as Void teleported. He's going to reset. They know he's on a ward, but they're just going to let him be, so he resets. They're going to get the third Drake of the game. Now they're going to... they didn't really drop the gold lead that much, but the gold lead does not reflect everything that is said, because
Very true.
the Neela is like level 12 to
Yeah, something like
Zaya's
that.
level 11. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, because no, Zaya just ticked level 11. The Neela is at level and a half ahead, so
Yeah.
that's actually pretty sizable. Both
I would
supports are
say
at the same
so.
level.
And as well as having the collector online, am I crazy for saying that that's looking like an Infinity Edge up next?
Honestly, it could be.
Right, and
I don't see
especially
it very often, honestly, but who knows?
it's
'Cause I
true you
don't.
don't see it often, but I feel like if you're a level ahead of a level and a half, sorry, ahead of this other ADC, I feel like you'd want to push that as far as possible. Oh, wait a minute, trouble in the bot lane.
Ooh, nice little dodging around here. Herald's gonna get called mid lane for the side of Tilt, so they're gonna knock down that mid lane tier 1. Honestly, I don't think they needed to call that mid, but Rakan gonna get put into the death realm here. He's gonna get picked off here, gonna pop that ultimate charm. The quickness
Oh
is
my
huge,
goodness!
but oh my god, pulling in the rest of the members. A flash over the wall by Void. He's trying to
Ooh.
get onto that Kassadin, but Kassadin gets out so quick with that rift walk. So that's not a guy you want to really flash over. Both subs use the exhaust. So Squid is going to be out for a little bit here, but that allows Jonikis to kind of have a lot of free time in the side lane here. I don't know why you have the Neela alone in the side lane against the Vigar. as he's starting to hit all these abilities here. One more key. Oh my god, I think if he goes for the ult, he dies. Oh, he doesn't get the. Oh, that's such a good bait with the Spear's Refuge here. He's going to go on into Albino Sunbear. Going to get stunned up on the event horizon. Doesn't quite have enough cooldown to dash onto the Vigar for the follow-up, but popping the Seraph's Embrace for the shield, and that's going to be Vigar just barely getting out with his life there. Nice little bait there by Ellie.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he even had us fooled there. But the important thing to note is that Kassadin is 3 levels away from the dreaded level 16 Kassadin Power Spike. That rank 3 Rift Walk is going to hurt so much. And if the Vigar isn't going to build defensive, you know, thankfully he did. He learned his lesson from game number 2, picking up that Seraph's Embrace as well as the Rod of Ages. But the Kassadin is still going to hit so hard, and with Xayah not building any magic resist, I mean, they're going to have to rely on that Featherstorm in order to survive the engage, but do you really want to commit an ult for that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at this. Let's see, look around. I mean, it's still a really slow game. It's a 3.5k gold lead, actually. Like, what the hell? But the great thing is about Cobra is that they're very dependent on levels. They're waiting for this Kassadin to really be online. But, I mean, the Vi has about what is that? The 90% KP, 87% KP, roughly. But oh, Xayah, oh, she does still have the Blade Caller here. Could use it right now. There she goes. The Featherstorm comes out, but not going to use the Cease and Desist to follow up on that. Does still have the flash, does still have the barrier. So nice job for the side of Cobra not to fall for the bait. So that's going to be a big ultimate use now, because I think he should have it up for the Drake fight. Void is going to get collapsed on the side lane here, but does have that the Shadow Realm, so not really going to kind of force the rest of that fight. But overall, I mean, it's a 1k gold lead for the top side of Tilt, so this is a really nice spot that they want to have. But you know, like you said, like this Kassadin is now, he's level 4. He just ticked level 14. He's so close to getting that level 16 power spike to, like, because I think once he hits level 16, that Rift Walk gets down to like a 1.5 second cooldown.
Yeah.
So he just gets super slippery. Squid is gonna get jumped on there by the Nimbus Strike from the Wukong. So gonna get that vision cleared out here. It's gonna be, this is the 4th Drake of the game here. So both these teams really want it, because it's really good Drake for either team here. As that's gonna be the Encore onto the Vi only there. Gonna use the beat drop, just barely gonna miss there, but the quick. Oh, that's going to be a nice little charm onto the backside, but Frosty Crown is just going to get that kill there. Void going to put the Void Assassin into the Death Realm here. It's like Rift walking into the Drake Pit. So level 15 here, he's so close. He's going to have to get on out there. He just barely gets over the wall in time. The Claw going to pull back the Shen here. Going to get hit with so much damage, but the Mordekaiser just doing everything he can do on that backside. But that pick onto Noah means that's going to be the Drake here for the side of Tilt. Oh, actually, Noah does spawn like a second before the Drake spawn, so it could be they're looking for this fight. That's gonna be a teleport in by the Kassadin into the bot side here. Jonikis does have that exhaust, does have that ultimate, as Albino Sunbear. Oh no, Void. He's coming back in for round 2 here. Lots of damage onto Insane. He doesn't have that level 16 quite yet. Wukong gonna claim the 4th Drake of the game here. So it's 2-2 apiece in the Drake score. It's almost a 5k gold lead for Tilt. Like, at a certain point, like, the level even matter is just, there's so much money in Tilt's pockets. Like, the Vigar is at 265 stacks right now, and he's at 2.5 items. You know, so roughly on the same, he's like a pretty good chunk. He's basically a whole, what is it? Needlessly a large rod. Well, 2 of them ahead of the Kassadin. So it's kind of been the story of this whole series, you know, just Albino just being so much further ahead of Insane, despite, you know, the early kills.
And especially on a champion like Vigar, who should probably struggle quite a bit against the Kassadin, being able to maintain his lane as well as even get a gold lead, a sizable one at that, against the Kassadin, it really just goes to show that this guy has played League for quite a bit, and he's very comfortable on these champions. And as well with the Vigar, you know, like you said, just with this passive alone, that's like 3 or 4 needlessly large rods, and he's almost at a death cap. If he gets that death cap, that is going to be like nuclear levels of damage.
Oh yeah, dude, this Vigar is thick, going for a death cap
Yeah.
once again here. I mean, the gold lead does subside a little bit. It's only about 4K now in favor for Tilt, because Insane, he's about to tick level 16 here. He's like maybe 2-3 waves off of it. So this Cassid is going to be a absolute beast in these team fights. As Squid gonna get the double knock up there on the back end, gonna get a quickness onto 2 members. The Featherstorm gonna get called down as a cease and desist on top of the Seraphine's head. The Encore only gonna hit onto 1 member as a Cyclone going into the backside. Frosty Crown gonna keep on going. The Spirit Fetch finally gets called down here. As oh man, the Neil is so low. They're gonna keep on chasing. They're really wanting the rest of this fight, but so many cooldowns used. So no summons on Ellie, and that could be a Baron start here for the side of Tilt, as all members are coming through here. They're gonna clearing up this vision, but it's not gonna be fast enough. They're gonna get spotted on the ward. Vi is still around, does not have flash, does not have the cease and desist. Void does have that Shadow Realm, so it's a lot of cooldowns used by the side of Cobra, and Jonikis gonna get chunked up for about half his HP there. Lots of damage going down. Noah trying to get onto that flank, trying to get him to get for another steal, but now he's gonna get put into the death realm. Baron claimed by the side of Tilt, as that's gonna be a one-man knockup with the grand entrance here. Noah gonna get a solo kill on the side. Holy cow! The Void Assassin coming through. That's gonna be exhaust onto Frosty's crown. Jonikis is gonna get put into the baby cage now. Void is all by his lonesome. 3 members of Tilt are going to try to reset now, and Void's gonna get chased down here, but no more CC follow-up. So many low health bars on the side of Cobra, and the Baron gets picked up for Tilt.
Yeah, I mean, they did secure the Baron, but at what cost? They lost a good chunk of people for it. But the important thing is that the Kassadin, not only did he not die in that fight, he got a couple kills. The Kassadin's Rift Walking is already starting to just cripple basically everyone of Tilt. We saw how much damage he was doing in that last fight. The Vygar basically had no chance, had to run, had to flash away, had to do everything in his power to keep the Kassadin off of him. And same with the Xayah. Even though they have one of the best ultis in the game for keeping yourself safe, it was just not enough, and the Kassadin was able to just walk right all over them. Pun absolutely intended. So if they don't shut down this Kassadin, or they don't give it enough respect, they will be falling.
Yeah, like this Kassadin, like you're starting to see the power now. You know, once that Kassadin gets that death cap, he's just gonna start popping everybody.
Oh
But
yeah.
the Seraphine, she's about to get that diadem song, so that's gonna be a really big power spike. You know, every single time you're hitting people with those abilities, those AOB abilities, those auto attacks, you're just giving so much healing to the lowest health member of your team. As Squid gonna go in with the quickness, gonna get the knock up on the Xayah. That's gonna be a nice little pick, but 3 man! Oh my god, the combination's coming out from Tilt, as that's gonna be Neil, gonna be the first casualty of the fight. Wukong picking up a double kill, as Frosty's crown gonna get knocked up with the grand entrance. Now it's gonna turn into a grand exit, and Insane just trying to get on out of dodge, and she was like taking like half HP. Now she's full HP because of the Seraphine. The engage goes awry, and now they have the Baron buff for about another minute. They're gonna break the base open at 28. I don't know if they can end the. Actually, they could possibly end the game here. They don't have a lot of wave clear. Insane is coming back with a full health bar. They're gonna try to zone them off here. They do have a bit of a small wave, and I don't think they're going to be able to end the game here. Another wave coming in very shortly. Insane taking so much damage. Albino does still have the ultimate to execute whoever the hell he wants to. That cannon minion is chipping away. The Baron buff is about to expire in about 35 seconds. So Tilt's going to say, you know what, we're going to take our leave. We're going to back on out there. Drake spawning just now. So this is going to be the soul for Tilt. But Cobras, they're following very closely behind. They want to play for this fight. It is a soul point for both these teams here. Void does have that ultimate. Noah, no, you're getting too close, buddy. You need to be a little careful. It gets put into the death realm. The Drake gonna get claimed here now. That's gonna be soul point for the side of Tilt. Void all by his lonesome. He doesn't have flash. He's so tanky. The Event Horizon gonna get dropped down. The cease and desist on top of the Mordekaiser. Gonna get a big shutdown going over to Insane. So it's gonna be a 1-0, but the soul point claim for Tilt.
Oh, yeah, even though Tilt won that pretty decisively, Mordekaiser does get dropped, and that is a lot of your front line, and nobody on the side of the Cobras died. One thing I did want to mention is how come there's no Serpent's Fang being bought from the side of Tilt? I would have thought that Xayah probably would have picked that up because, you know, like we were saying before, this Chemtech Soul is extremely valuable for the Cobras because everybody has a shield. I feel like a Serpent's Fang would just double the Xayah's damage more or less.
Yeah, the Serpent's Fang... Serpent's Fang for the side of Tilt would be very nice. Like, at this point, honestly, like, if I was Frenzy, I would build a Serpent's Fang. Like, you're kind of like the bait at this point, so, like, you might as well just get the Serpent's Fang. because like you have so much AoE, you'll apply
Mhm.
it to everybody very liberally. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, at this point, like Frenzy should just build a Surface Fang. I'm not gonna lie to you, instead of the LDR. But who knows? I mean, he still does a lot of damage,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
still up
Yeah.
CS surprisingly. But it's a 6.5K gold lead for Tilt. I mean, they have such a big gold lead, but like the game still feels so close. Like now, Insane, he's by himself in the bot lane here. They do have a Baron buff expired a bit ago, so they're gonna just brute force this bot lane tier 2.
Mhm.
No real wave player for the side of Cobras. That's like the one pickle with this team. Oh,
Oh.
whoa, Zane, what are you doing, buddy? What the hell? He just rift walks into the enemy into
Mm.
4 members, and he almost gets taken out there, forced to flash away.
Yeah, I
So it's
mean,
gonna be a trade of towers actually, because Cobras, they're just knocking down mid lane tier 2. No real wave player for the side
uh-oh.
of Cobras, as that's your tank, buddy. Is Jonicus is
Oh.
gonna get the taunt onto the Wukong.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my god! It does
Oh,
so much
oh.
damage! Instantly pops a Seraphine, so it's gonna be a 1-for-1 here. Support for mid laner, as that's gonna be
Oh.
the quickness used. Gonna lock up the Wukong here. The Grand
Oh
Entrance
my
pops
goodness,
to the back line. He gets on the 2 members. Gonna put the exhaust onto Albino
Oh.
Sunbear, but he will immediately get a kill back with the Q.
But look at the Neela.
So
Look at
now
the Neela.
Wukong. Oh my god, he got joked! As Neela, she's going on to flank onto the back line. The base
Oh
follower
my
not gonna get
goodness.
the root down. That's gonna be 2 members taken out already by onto Tilt. The
Oh,
flash forward with the
snap.
ultimate, and
Oh
that's
my
going to
goodness.
be a 4-for-2 in favor of Cobra. Void gonna take down that top lane inhibitor. It's gonna be 2 inhibitors down for the side of Cobras, but they get crucial picks on the bot lane, but no neutral objectives up for them to claim yet.
Bro, look at that. I mean, I was gonna say that Cobra's probably overstayed their welcome. You know, the Castan overheard you saying that he's gotten a wave clear. He's like, really? Really? Oh, I bet. And he just rift walks into the wave. Unfortunately, does have to flash away. And I thought that that was going to be the end. I didn't think that the Castan was going to have a reliable enough way to get onto the squishy members of Tilts. But no, it's a beautiful flank into a beautiful, or a beautiful fight into a beautiful flank from the side of the Cobras as the Neela coming from somewhere. I guess they were still mid lane after that recall happened, and they managed to catch the flank on everybody that was low from all that casted damage, and it was just a beautiful triple kill, and they went relatively unpunished, now sitting at almost full build here at 32 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, who needs to clear waves when you're a champion clearer,
Right.
you know? Like, this Cassid is so powerful. Like,
Mhm.
3 items, I don't know why you have the Dark Seal yet, still, but Tilt, they're gonna start up this Baron here. They're gonna get spotted onto the Vision, but now, Farsight going down. They stopped doing the Baron here. Sunbear, oh, he has a great side flank.
Oh.
That's Rift Walk, that's Vigor, he's all by himself. You guys have to be a little careful. That is a very fed Cassidon. Gonna have to be real careful here. Gonna drop a ward into the bush here. You're gonna spot out members of Cobra. Neela's pushing all by herself
Yeah.
in the mid lane here. She's trying to take down that mid lane inhibitor. Claw is going to land on top of Noah. He's gonna get put into the death realm here as Void. I think he's having a... No, never mind. I stay corrected. He is not losing this as the Maul Mortis does get popped now.
my God, the
Void
TP.
all by himself in the back lane, and he's gonna get taken down here by the Cassidon. And Zane is going to pick up his 7th kill of the game there. Rift walking flash forward with the Cyclone. Nobody is there to follow up. You're gonna kill Noah there finally as Frosty Credit is so low. Gonna knock him out the quick. Oh my god! As the Encore gonna land on the 2 members. The Blade Caller gonna lock up 3 members. That's gonna be a triple kill going over to the Wukong as Vigor, he teleported into the base here. Neela, she has to reset to try to clear these waves to try to knock down this Vigor. And Jonicus, he's doing so much. Oh, lay the top man, what the hell are you doing? Oh, Ellie, you're gonna be a little careful, buddy. You are not that tanky. You will get popped. Event Horizon going down. Not miss on the skill shots for Jonicus. Does still have that exhaust. As Ellie gonna get taken a lot of damage. She's healing a lot too.
Oh, no.
She's gonna get stunned. The Spear's Refuge getting called down. She's gonna get picked off. Frenzy gonna pick up that kill. There's no wave. There's only one super minion. It's gonna get taken down. A super minion wave is coming through. 15 seconds on Insane. 3 seconds on Noah. Squid finally does come up. Let's see if they can try to stop the end of this game here. As the Titanic Hydra is doing so much damage. Teleport coming in by Void. As Noah, what are you doing? But he sees this onto the Mordekaiser. Gonna take the Recon into the death realm here. The quickness is not gonna get out to anybody. Albino Sunbear is gonna get exhausted, but Insane trying to do as much as he can, but he's gonna get auto down. Triple kill going over to Frenzy, and it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Tilt Albino as they get a 30-minute banger once again and finally seal the deal.
Man, oh man, talk about a roller coaster. That looked like it was Cobras, or no, it looked like Tilts at the in the beginning. Then it was Cobras. Then it was Tilts again in the mid game. Then it was Cobras in the starting of the late game. And then it was obviously Tilts once again as they take down the Nexus. And I mean, you know what? In the very last couple minutes of that game, I don't know if letting the Neela go and push is the right play. I feel like it's good to start the plays happening because obviously the Mordekaiser was pressured to do something because otherwise you're just going to give your entire base to the pushing Neela if you don't start Baron, and you're just kind of dancing around the river. But I feel like after the Mordekaiser engages, that's when you need to play together again, you know, because the Rakan, he dives into the banana brush and he just dies there. The Neil is still pushing. Again, I can see the vision, but I feel like once the Mordekaiser engages, that's your call to say, okay, I need to back up and go play with the team.
Yeah, I mean, a game like this is just like I don't know, just Ellie couldn't get into the fight. I mean, 11k damage is crazy. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just really couldn't get into these fights. Like you're playing like this full dive composition, but you just couldn't really execute them correctly, you know? And at the end of the day, like um till Albino, they pull out the victory here. So now they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
go they're gonna erase that 0 from their record. They're gonna go up
Yep.
now to 1-2. So and now
Yeah.
and for higher, they're gonna drop down to 0-3. So it's gonna be a little bit of a roughie for them because now they're in that bottom percentage. You know, they're really gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to play out of their minds these last couple weeks so they can make it into the playoffs because it is top 8. But like that was a really banger series, really.
Oh
Like I did
yeah.
not expect something like that out of these two teams. But you have any other closing remarks here before we sign out?
Uh, Honestly, all I'm gonna say is definitely follow Ember Esports on all your favorite social media channels. You know, I said it once, I'll say it again: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Because if this series was crazy, you just wait until you see the top tier teams, because that is gonna be some really crazy stuff. There's gonna be a lot of really amazing moments, and you're also gonna hear a bunch of amazing casters like Banana Bread and myself. But that's gonna be all from me, Banana Bread. I think that's all from you and everyone that is watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next stream.